the OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The HyperTouch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open. I'm Hot Jukes here with Spad Cargo. We're the finals here. We're in the finals, so we're seeing the top squads go against some ones that you guys haven't seen here. I'm pumped up. Span, how you feeling?
I'm so excited. I couldn't even contain myself. Finished classes today, and I was like, "Oh, I have something to look forward to at the end of the day." So I'm fully excited, especially with the addition of these new teams now. I want to see how they're going to be able to perform with the teams that we had to watch go through these qualifying rounds all this time.
Likewise, I'm so pumped up for it. I mean, we got a whole bunch of new squads here with some veteran players that we've seen in the past. Some I know personally as well, so I'm excited to see how they perform. But at the same time, they are coming in here, even though they are more veteran squads, they're coming in here playing against these teams some practically for the first time. So that's going to be something interesting to see and see how they kind of navigate those drop locations and challenges. I'm always interested in the first game. Anytime you kind of have a whole new format, new squads coming into it.
Exactly, and these other teams, they just played for 6 days straight, basically, and now these other teams are coming on in, and they haven't played just yet, so I'm kind of curious to see if maybe those teams that kind of had gotten to warm up are going to be able to keep it rolling, or if we'll just be able to very much see the difference compared to qualifying teams and invited teams. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that.
Likewise. So let's go ahead and start jumping right on into it. For everybody here that's just possibly tuning in here to the first time, let's go ahead and bring up the format so you can see exactly how this tournament is going to be run here for the next 4 days. And you can see here, the group stages on the left already done. So we already had the squads move over to the finals, and now there are 16 teams competing here. 4 days of competition, 4 matches per day, and the top teams are going to advance to PMPL Season 2. And Span, that's where the real money is. That's where the big bucks are.
Oh, definitely. That's what everybody is definitely going to be vying for, obviously, just trying to fight their way to those top teams to be able to make it. I mean, that's the goal. That's the challenge. And what teams are going to be able to do it? I couldn't even say right now. Yeah, like I don't even know if I have a guess.
Well, let's go ahead and when we start pulling up the teams, I think I'm still going to ask you what your predictions are going to be, because your predictions have been pretty on point so far. But let me go ahead and remind everybody how these teams are going to be able to add points to their total here. And let's go ahead and bring that up right now. And you can see it's the same format we've been using for quite a while now. These squads are definitely used to it. First place, that chicken dinner, going to give you 15 points. Huge. Second, 12. Third, 10. Fourth, 8. And it really starts tapering down from there. Once you get 8th place, 1 point. 13th is the goose egg. And of course, 1 kill equals 1 point span.
Exactly. So again, broken record. Got to go ahead, stay alive as long as possible. Get those placement points. Get into as many fights as possible. If you stay alive longer, that'll happen more often. Get all the points. Got to be consistent. Grab both.
And we saw GODSENT get the most points in the last game. They were able to get that first place in the group stages. So a big congrats out to them. But it's interesting to see these different team strategies, those that just go for placement more often and those that are really heavy on the fragging. But at the end of the day, man, I think the top squads, you got to have just a great blend of both, right?
Exactly. You have to be pretty good at going out ahead and achieving both sides of the points. That's what's going to keep you consistent. So, exactly.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the prize pool. This is what the people are going and competing for right here, right now. And you can see first place going to give you that $4,000 in the bank. Second, $2,500, and it goes on the line down from there. Total prize pool of $30,000. That's the most I've seen for a club open. Not bad for, a few days of work, but at the same time, the real prize is that slot for PMPL. That is a long tournament and a much larger prize pool.
For a second there, I thought you were gonna say like what they've learned along the way, and I was gonna be like, ugh. I thought you were setting yourself up for that, but yeah. So today we got a little bit of a prize pool, pretty big one, and yeah, you're right. Those top slots going to be able to move on to PMPL and the stuff they learn along the way. I guess I will also be able to add. I do think that is a true success that people are going to be able to learn coming through from these games. You know, the more you play in a professional setting, the better you're going to get. The more you're going to be able to learn. So hopefully they'll be able to take those lessons and turn it into something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's literally a life-changing prize for a lot of these players, because for a lot of them, they can go and be able to qualify, but PMPL is really a place where you can, like you said, learn, get better, and make a name for yourself. And if you do make a name for yourself, we've seen players get on really big orgs and play professionally, get to play video games professionally. That's what we all want here, and that's what a lot of these players are hoping for today. So their dreams, we're going to see who's are going to be able to actually come true. Make sure, of course, you're rooting for all your squads in the comment section below. So let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule for today. As you can see, the maps that we're going to be playing, starting off in Erangel, Sanhok, Miramar, and then back in Erangel once again.
I love me some Erangel, so love to see if there's two of it, and of course that means we're going to see a lot of different gameplay coming through here. We're going to get a full knowledge just from day one how these teams are really going to be able to perform on every single one of these maps. And you said it yourself, you know, these teams haven't necessarily played against each other just yet. You know, it's kind of split in half invited, half made here through groups. So how are they going to go ahead and actually interact with each other inside of these different maps with the different ways to be able to play them? You know, we don't know those answers just yet. That's what today is for. Today's the first day. So honestly, I feel like I might be expecting a tiny bit of chaos coming into today, since is kind of an unknown.
Oh, straight up, especially on that first match. What I'm really looking forward to see, what I want to see the most, is I want to see a hungry team. I want to see a squad like, you know, like Ogilvy, who just barely made it in. I want to see them like had put in 10 hours, 12 hours a day minimum, you know, and just go absolutely ham here in the finals. I want to see that rising squad from a team that we did not expect to play. That's what I'm really hoping for. At the same time, though, you're going against a few vets, and it ain't going to be easy.
Oh, not at all. I mean, who doesn't love a good underdog story? You're right. So would like to see somebody who we're not quite expecting going to be able to pop off immediately and do super well. And like I said, even myself, I'm looking forward to see how those vets are going to take it with this different crowd, how they're going to interact with each other even as well. So will the vets be obvious? Will they be able to stay alive longer inside the game, be at the top of the leaderboard? Or will some of these new guys go ahead and really literally give them a run for their money?
I mean, that's what we're going to have to find out. One big thing, too, for everybody that's kind of newer here to this particular type of tournament, here in the finals, these are the teams that are going to be playing against each other every single day. So it's not like in the group stages where they were going up against different groups, Group A versus C, mixing it up. They're going to be playing every single day, every game against the same squads. So one thing I'm looking at, Span, is how important do you feel it is to secure that drop spot early on? What do you think?
Super important. I don't know. I think that usually the team's going ahead and commit to the drop spot at first and just see who could sit out and win. And honestly, if you're going to be able to continue to win those fights, just keep dropping there. And that team that loses might eventually go ahead and move. But that is going to be a huge risk as well, because obviously that's the spot that they're used to making rotations out of there. And if they try to move somewhere else, they could have issues with another team somewhere else and just turns into complete and utter chaos. So I am 100% sure that these guys very much paid attention to each other on where they usually drop and rotate so they could figure something out. But we'll be able to introduce you guys those teams in a short while, because let's go ahead and watch a little video first.
The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The HyperTouch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
Ooh, that OnePlus looking mighty fine. And you know what else is looking mighty fine? The squads, Fat Cargo. So let's go ahead and take a look at the teams playing in today's tournament. And these are your champions, ladies and gentlemen. First team, Dope Esports LLC, GameChangers, GODSENT, Helping Quit Edition, HTV Esports, LeveLx, Mezexis Esports, and Ogilvy. Man, take away it on the right side.
Then for 9, Pro Era, TacoLovers, Team BTOWN, Team Karen, Team OP, Vamp, WallStreetBets, and Yo. And that runs out our 16 teams that are participating. Jukes, how do you feel about this?
TacoLovers, man. TacoLovers. That's my squad. That's my squad. If TacoLovers, if you guys end up on the top of the mountain, I want all the merch. All of it. That's for sure. So, I mean, there's so many squads that I was pretty impressed with in PMCO because I think this is the most competitive PMCO that I've ever seen. Because I'm not even going to cap. Like, previous tournaments that I've casted, I'm like, I was very generous by saying like, oh, we'll see how they do. But in my mind, I was like, yeah, these guys are done. Like, no chance. But in this one, I think I could definitely feel like any of these squads can, if they come out strong, especially, they could make it. I think they definitely can make it into PMPL.
Exactly. I don't really know what to expect because even those teams that we didn't expect too much from, like they did go on ahead and do really well some days. So I guess that is what it comes down to. Some of these teams we know are a little bit more consistent than the others, so they might be the ones that go on ahead and perform a bit better. But then teams, like you said, like TacoLovers, they were absolutely insane, especially as the tournament went on. And Ogilvy, they were able to hold strong and be able to make it into the competition. Even, WallStreetBets just getting inside of it as well. All of these teams got here for a reason, but now they have to go against these invited teams, or even these invited teams against the new talent. Like, it could be difficult situations for some teams. We might get a surprise. Some of those consistent teams might just totally have bad days. So we'll have to see, like I said, how today's going to go, because I expect a little chaos, and then who's really going to be able to do well in this format against each other.
It's going to be different. I mean, one thing is, too, that kind of like just started creeping back in my mind when you started saying that was the fact that a lot of the teams that actually did well during the group stages, you could slightly even consider the fact that they did so well due to the fact that they had some weaker squads in there to kind of take advantage of their points. Here in the finals, it ain't going to be like that. Like, every single squad is going to come in heavy. So the finals here, I think, are going to really, really show which are the top squads. That's why, in my personal experience, man, when you win the group stages, don't tweet about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be like, we were the first in group stages, baby. We're the best. And then you go to the finals, and it's almost like a curse. So finals, and that prize pool, that's what it's really all about.
Exactly. I've definitely seen teams go straight into finals like this at the very top of groups and then completely, like, where'd they go? I feel like I haven't seen them at all. And actually, there's from the scene that I come from, there's actually a joke that those who come first in group stage, there's a group stage curse, and then they end up not doing well in finals. So I'm kind of like looking at GODSENT like, oh, I'm like kind of worried, but hoping that it doesn't follow into this PMCO.
I wonder, man, like, do you have any like theories on why that is? Like, why they have a group stage curse? What do you think?
I do have a couple. I think maybe they get in their mental that like, oh, we did so well, and then maybe they go in a little bit more relaxed, unconsciously don't really realize, or that also teams look at them and they're just like, that is the top team, murder. You know what I mean? Like a little bit harsher towards that team, or they definitely go on ahead and pay attention to what they do specifically. So I think there might be a combination of those things that go on ahead and could result in that, or it really is just a curse.
Yeah, no, I think that makes total sense. I mean, in the mental game, obviously, so huge, that pressure. But I think you made a great point when it comes to when you're at that top and teams are studying, right? They're putting in those hours, like I mentioned earlier, to make sure they're prepared as possible. A lot of the times, they stare at those top squads. Like you mentioned, they're looking at their exact rotations, where they land, because they're trying to replicate that. And when you have so many teams studying just you, and it comes to the tournament, you're like, whoa, why are we getting picked on? Why are we getting bullied? So I don't know, man. Do you think like you would? I'm just asking this. This is just kind of crazy. Do you think like knowing that and thinking about that, if you were playing in group stages and you could like intentionally place 5th or 6th, would you want to rather than placing first? You know what I'm saying?
That's like a little sneaky, like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little worse. I don't know. I don't think I would risk it. I would do the best of my ability kind of thing. So even if I got first, I would try to beat the curse. But the thing is, I've heard that before as well, and it didn't go well. So I definitely be wary, but I'd still play the best of my ability.
What you got to do, right? You got to play the best if you want to beat the best. So interesting here. You know, I'm looking at a couple of squads right now, and obviously everybody, reason of course why we're talking is we're waiting for the game here to get started here in just a little bit, which of course we're pumped for. But you know, just to kind of look at some of the squads here and looking at some of the names that are coming in. You know, I look at squads immediately like Pro Era. You know, Seagut, Lucifer, who's on the back end. I actually played with those two guys in a couple global lands, so these guys are definitely seasoned, but at the same time, we haven't really seen performances really noteworthy here. So I think they're really looking, especially in recent times. So I'm really looking to see how these guys are going to bounce back and really make a name for themselves here in this finals.
Okay, yeah. Some other people that I'm keeping an eye on is obviously we got GODSENT, you know, that's doing really well. We got Timo P, always has the huge amount of fans in the chat, and Vamp as well. They ended up doing explosively well throughout. And honestly, same with these other invited teams as well. For me, I know I'm going to be keeping an eye on a couple of them as well, specifically knowing what they do and how that's going to affect these other teams. I don't know if I want to say because I want to kind of figure it out first, but but also I like that name drop that you just did, Jukes. Yeah, I used to play with those guys.
Oh yeah, it's true. I mean, like I've spent nights in hotels with them in Dubai, so like I know for a fact that these guys got what it takes. You know, definitely had to throw that in there. But you know, it's interesting to see because this is kind of what happens. You have some rock solid teams in a certain region who have like their 4 that almost never switch. But you have some of those mid-tier teams who are really good, and you have some of those really star players. And a lot of the times we see those star players get displaced. You know, like they're always kind of looking for a squad, and they can't get a part of that big 4. So they have to make a squad kind of surrounding them. And I think that's the case what we're seeing here in PMCO, and that's hard to do. So if a squad can really do that, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at looking at Spring's a vet in here as well. So, I mean, a lot of names that I'm looking at seem to have that King A, of course, with WallStreetBets. But at the same time, if they're putting in that work and they're hungry, they can get it. They can get it.
Exactly. That's why when we come to standings, you know, we can go on ahead and predict things, just taking a look at previous standings, how teams did previously in scrims and stuff. And we usually give those statistics, you know, like, oh, these guys place this and they do this well and so on and so on. Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be like, this is what we had before. So this is our guess, this is our projection. And usually that can be a pretty good guide on what our expectations are. But I've also had that completely be incorrect as well. So some of these teams, I mean, completely new finals. I seriously am coming in here trying not to have too many expectations because we don't know how it's going to go. And I do want to see, you know, can't quite help having expectations, but I'm hoping to see if some of these teams are going to be able to completely smash them. I think you mentioned that as well. Always love an underdog. I want to see them going ahead and really show that they are here in finals for a reason, invited or making it here. Right, Jukes?
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you what, there's one expectation I know, and that is if you want to climb the leaderboard, Span. And the best way to do that, of course, is with the OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9 Pro with the flagship performance and an immersive 120 hertz display and new technology like HyperTouch built specifically for gamers. The OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9 Pro are your best shot to climb the leaderboard. So, hey, everybody, I just heard the producer tell by my ears that we got the game locked and loaded. These players are about to get started here. Game 1 about to be underway. If you haven't gotten your drink already, run, get it fast, because we're about to get started here, Span.
Yep, get your popcorn, get your drinks, sit down, get comfortable, because we're about to get into the plane and watch a really good game of PUBG Mobile starting off on Erangel. Here we go.
Let's get it, man. You better ran real quick, because here we are. First game of the PUBG Mobile Club Open Fall Split Finals here in 2021. And it looks like we're going to have a plane path come in. That's, really right down the middle of the map. Should be pretty fair for all these squads.
Yeah, it looks like right down the main body of Erangel, a little bit further over towards the western side. So, if teams like going Lipovka, Milton Power, anything like that, it is going to be a little bit more difficult, but true. But I mean, these teams at this point should still be pretty good at spreading out, just going ahead and extend, grab a vehicle on the road and keep driving. So that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on, seeing if anybody will be able to do that and get as far away as possible, because everybody at this point knows it is not a good idea to go ahead and start off in a fight this early on. Like, they want to start off just looting until their rotation happens. So, I mean, we'll see. Will there be some sort of contention? We don't quite know just yet, and we're almost halfway done with the plane.
That's what I was kind of talking to you about. I mean, what the importance of securing your drop location. Yeah, I think you said it's super important, and I agree. In the same regards, though, even if you win that fight and claim it, a lot of the times you end up losing one player or two players in that engagement, right? And that just really pretty much screws you for the rest of the game. So it's kind of a win-lose, especially when you only have 4 days, 4 games played. You really don't want to lose, end up with a goose egg on any one of those matches. So it's going to be interesting to see. I see a lot of teams landing right by Pachinki.
Yeah, it's a huge detriment. You don't want to be in that situation whatsoever, because right, when you get down to 2 players, that's where the game really changes. If you have 4-3, you can still kind of play this game normally, but right when you go down to 2 solo, completely different. It's so much harder to go and how to win a game, play a little bit normally. And you're right, that is quite a couple of colors around that Pachinki area. We haven't seen any fighting just yet, but it looks like OP might be trying to start it off with getting a knock onto one of the HTV members. There we go, but are they giving up?
Well, circling them like sharks, and Sana, and they were picking up their teammate who got a gun, and they're heading back to him, but he actually found the miracle bikes, man. They're. Oh wait, no, is he laying down by a tree?
That's his teammate. His teammate's on the bike.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
They didn't see him.
Oh, they're hunting.
They see the bike.
What are they doing? Does he not have a gun? Oh, they didn't get a gun.
Are they just? Oh, they're probably just rotating to the compound. I'm lost.
I guess.
But there you go. Looks like Quan's gonna survive.
HTV. HT. Oh, they did lose one though. Concrete. So that's gonna be a 3. Oh, and DeBilter got taken out from Team OP as well. So we missed that completely.
Jeez, I missed
very
those.
Yeah, very, very. All right.
Happened immediately before we popped into the action, I think.
Crazy. What a weird
start.
Start.
We didn't go though. Well, this is what we were talking about. There we go. The plane path happened, just trying to get away at this point, trying to get even further towards the east. They just drove by, I guess. They don't want to stay over there and risk it any longer. We can see that there are a couple people close by. There's people down in farms as well, so they have to go ahead and loot up. Definitely not enough loot for 3 whole people at that small compound. So looks like they're just going to be compound hopping for a bit. Meanwhile, BTOWN. Looks like they're the ones that got Pachinki. A ton of people dropped around them. I guess it was just to steal their vehicles.
Really interesting decision there. And I think that it's kind of is that initial in-game nerves. You know what I'm talking about? Like HTV were one of the top finishers in the group stages, and to see them kind of land in a very odd position and kind of get taken up for it, that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting to see. But it's still the first game. I always say that there's something called I'm introducing you to this the first time span, is the Hot Jukes excuse card, right? It's a punch card. It's a very short one, and I'll allow a certain amount of like, okay, first game, you can punch it. You can punch it as a scoop, but second game, no, can't do it. It's over. No slots left.
I mean, it is in the beginning. You can kind of continue to make those mistakes, kind of be a little bit shaken up, especially as you're getting used to lobby. But in my opinion, right after day one, you can go on ahead and sit down, look at your VODs, figure out a new game plan. I feel like that's really where, yeah, you're right. Like those slot cards or just punch cards, that's where they run out. Like they're used all up. So especially since these finals are only 4 days with 5 games each, that is not a long time to be able to really figure it out. You kind of have to go on ahead and jump back immediately on the first day if you're hoping to do really well at the top of that leaderboard.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is we see the squads that end up on top. They do not have a slow start. Like they start off really great and they finish really great. So that's what we have to see. We have to see which teams are going to be able to do that. So far, there's only been, a couple kills that we've seen. Yeah. As there's still 62 people alive. And it looks like that engagement between HTV and Team OP, neither of those squads got those kills. It was LeveLx and BTOWN.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see one of them inside of Pachinki, so I assume that they were able to get involved from afar, is what I would assume. Maybe try grabbing the vehicle or able to take them down, but yeah, I guess they couldn't get those fights because they were just trying to rotate, man. So they tried going for the run over at the beginning, but I guess that was it. Otherwise, completely different teams that went on ahead and really targeted them. And okay, this is a team that you also mentioned at the beginning. We want to keep an eye on Yo, specifically for spring. So it looks like they decided to go further up towards the north, Severny, and now they're just making their way on in the northern side of this first circle, which, by the way, kind of went around where that plane path was, kind of centered a little bit more to the west, as you could see. We'll probably take a look at that in more detail in a bit, but everybody at this point, 6 minutes in, looks like people are starting to move.
Yeah, everyone's starting to get set up, and so far, so good. Nice, clean pain path, nice, clean first circle here, and that's something that you're always looking to see. Yeah, Team Yo, Spring, Wick, 2 names that definitely I recognize. Spray, Nemesis, two other great players as well. So here they are, going to be holding the bridge right by crates, and you can see them just trying to hold this position. And this is a great spot because a lot of teams try to rotate through here. And if you're able to hide those vehicles and stay quiet enough, you can kind of get the jump on them. But with that, McLaren parked dead center, yeah, they're going to spot that from a mile away.
Yeah, this would be a good spot to really go on ahead and hold people out, but it looks like they don't want to risk that. They don't want to actually be the ones kind of camp this bridge. They just want to get further inside zone. So we'll see just how far they go. We can already see that another team is in front of them. It's Pro Era to be exact, driving up on top of this mountain for right now, but they might be running into somebody that's also doing the same thing. Look at that in the distance. We got 2 teams trying to climb Everest at the same time.
Here we go. Team Dope and Pro Era. It's going to be a battle on top of the mountain. Which squad is going to be the king of the hill? That's what we're about to find out. And yeah, here, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he had to heard something. Now they definitely know. So you hear, it looks like Dope is looking to disengage from this completely, especially with them being so spread out. Don't blame them. Looks like Pro Era is going to dominate Everest for now.
Yeah, they got kind of towards the actual peak of it a little bit more. So away they go. Trying to wait so his teammate can get in the vehicle with him. And up to the north they go. So I guess that's where they came out of. That's where they started. They're just going to have to go back and figure out the next place to play, which honestly, not being on top of Everest might be a good thing. I feel like Everest, it can go either way. You can be up there and you can get a ton of kills because you can just have so much visibility on everything, or you can have multiple people kind of target that location, have a team come up on your west and east side at the same time and kind of stuck in the middle. Like, I personally wouldn't want to be the first team on top of Everest in some situations.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. And the hard part about it is, like, especially when you're the first squad, you're sitting up there for so long, you kind of have a tendency to get a little lazy and spread out because you want to cover so many grounds, so many sides. And when you spread out that far, you have a full squad, send it into one player, they just 4v1 each and every single one of them. So hopefully Pro Era, with their experience, don't make that mistake. They set next zone's going to come up pretty cool. Personally, I love those houses right below Everest. I think that's a much better location.
Yeah. I don't like being up there. Yeah, they actually got in their vehicles and started driving. So I guess they're also thinking the same thing. They just used it as a scout location, drove up right when that zone was about to pop, and now are moving once again.
Ooh.
There are a team. Dope ended up taking that compound right underneath Everest. So I guess they couldn't get Everest, so they took the next best thing.
Gotta take it to the bank. HTV having some vehicle problems. They're gonna get some utility passed on to each other as they head on into the blue. I'm looking at the chat, and man, I am seeing team OPs all over the place.
Yeah.
A lot of Baba OPs, a lot of hype around this squad, and every single time I see a lot of support for a team, I'm gonna keep a close eye on them. And so far, I think the fans aren't gonna be too happy with their start, as they did end up losing that player early, but they are heading into the zone. 18 seconds left. They're gonna have to get moving again here soon.
They can't stay here for too long. They're just on the very edge of that zone as well. Exactly. They're just trying to heal up at this point. In that zone, it's going to be closing in a couple seconds. This is the dangers of getting super far away from that first initial zone, because you can start getting trapped out there like that and take so much blue damage that your meds just go down and down. The lucky thing is that it is only phase 2, so hopefully they'll be able to make it, but that also means that they're basically going to be playing edge this entire time as well, because almost everybody should be in front of them, grabbing all of those more central locations. Looks like maybe they'll be in front of one team. That's going to be the team that we just were spectating that just jumped away from.
Okay, yeah, Team Yo right over here. And it looks like they're going to start getting pulled up on here by the GameChangers, as they're kind of just very slowly sneaking up on here using that 4-car strat. Especially with this circle, 4-car, so important. That's when a player's got a vehicle to themselves, because it's so crucial to be able to set up those car walls whenever there isn't any cover. There's a lot of open terrain on this side of the map.
Yeah, they got to be careful, especially right above Gakha. It's just a completely empty, open field. Not the greatest place to go on ahead and find yourself in. But, of course, the zone, I feel like it knows that, and it loves to end around there. So right now, since it pulled over more towards the west, towards Gakha, there's just a ton of open fields, and these guys are going to have to try and figure that out, which we've seen a lot of these teams, especially through the group stage quals, utilize vehicles very, very well. So kind of excited to see if they're going to be able to do that again, or maybe another team, invited team, is going to go on ahead and really show how they use the vehicles to themselves. Maybe those tricks aren't going to be useful anymore. Maybe they're going to be even more effective.
Well, we're going to see exactly how effective they're going to be. It looks like Pro Era getting into an engagement, surrounded by Dope and Yo, as Pan does go down. It looks like he is possibly going to get picked up. Mezexis. Man, I saw a lot of hype around Mezexis Esports. They're going to lose 2 people really early on this rotation. The hard shift, though, onto the Pachinki side here, Span. It's going to shake things up a bit.
Still a lot of it is field. Look at that. Still a lot of Gakha field. We got Chopsticks, Comets, all of it inside. Even down to the southern side, we have the huge fields. But again, a little bit different is we kind of have a triangle of hills. We got Pachinki Mountains, kind of 2 places that people can really play. The mountain that GODSENT is just driving over, and the one all the way down to the southern side. Like, at this point, it's kind of, going ahead, send it to the compounds in those fields, or play on those 3 little spots. And that's all the safety there is. Everybody instantly driving because of the hard shift.
And so many teams, just know all the strategies, especially at this high level. Usually when you have a hard shift, you see so many squads just wrap around and go to that hard shift side. And we saw right there on the west side of the map, 4 squads had the same idea. They were all making the same rotation. So I'm not surprised if we see just the kill feed light up from those teams here in the next few seconds.
I'm waiting for it. Everybody now is going to be driving right next to each other. Even in just the mini-map right here, we can see 4 whole teams, and more are coming. This is really the opportunity to start annoying your neighbors, start popping some tires and doing some damage. You see, everybody's kind of signing up for it now.
Oh, those tire pops are so toxic. And look, see, had a couple squads. Yo, gonna be sending it straight on here. Batman taking quite a while to start popping off those shots, especially when you see a buggy. If you're able to hit that tire, I mean, they're spun out and they are in big trouble. So interesting to see here, but they are getting pieced up from 2 sides as well. WallStreetBets gonna take Pachinki Hill, at least the side of it. And we're going to see GameChangers holding that red compound right down there. Teams, it's only still circle 3, but they are really starting to get set up. Is that, oh, that Tesla getting pieced up. Gonna have to move it.
Yeah, trying to move to safety. You have to protect your vehicles in these kinds of zones, especially since the center of this is completely open. And yeah, you mentioned Yo moving here, and I had actually seen the little gray of GODSENT moving around as well. They didn't send somebody over there to the northern side, so that just meant a whole nother team could go on ahead and send it on in there. So now GODSENT have to be careful. They have neighbors. It's just GODSENT has the better side. Yo, they have to be a little bit more careful. They only have 2 buildings, both of them a 1-story and a shack. Not ideal, but is in fact playable. Gotta also watch out for the team up on top of the hill, because WallStreetBets at any moment can just peek on down and decide to get involved.
One thing I do notice that a lot of teams are starting to utilize is when they have a situation like that, it's almost like they become squads. You know, they're like, hey, you know what? You got this side, I got this side. We'll fight each other when the zone comes to us, you know? Like, why don't we just work together and take any squad that tries to touch us, and then we'll fight it out later. I mean, it is a great strategy because you could definitely get some huge points that way. Next zone is going to change, and it looks like it is going to hard shift away from the fields. And we have the first team eliminated here to start things off. It's going to be Team Karen going out in 16th. 15 squads remaining, and we're starting to see that kill feed really get going. Pro Error already got 4 kills.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness, and it looks like Vamp is going to start running into a whole nother team here. We can see the 312 is losing tires. Yeah, the rest of his team is actually getting knocked. He's the furthest one from his team after that run-in. And it looks like he's not even going to go back. His one teammate, Unknown, completely down. Got to worry about his other side because here comes OP. Jeez, these rotations.
That was a full send. Yeah, that was a full send right there from Vamp. Just trying to find a spot, and they did end up making that player sacrifice with that. And yeah, 312, he's going to have that IQ of realizing I can't stay in here because I'm most likely going to get naded. So he runs behind, but Team OP 2v1ing him. He's getting pieced up from the side. No chance.
Wow. Right before he goes down, Mezexis Esports does get eliminated as well, so we are down to 14 teams. His team also going down, unfortunately. OP, the other team, they were able to hold him out. I mean, we saw them all driving. We knew it was a hard shift up to the northern side, and only a couple teams were going to be able to actually survive there, because as these zones get smaller and smaller, there just isn't enough space, especially because up to the north, there is a ton of fields again. I mean, look at these teams just using a shack as their cover, but here comes TacoLovers as well. They need a spot, and Dope Esports is their target. Already taking down one, it looks like, but ooh, still have a couple left, and Tuesday, he's just driving towards them.
Taco Tuesday, baby, and he is sending it right onto his knees. Unfortunate rotation for him, but Taco Wednesday still up in the mix, and he's pissed. Taco Wednesday said, hey, how dare you? They're going to come and try to avenge their teammate. And yeah, GODSENT is in the mix as well. Dope starting to get surrounded.
Yeah, GODSENT and OP both taking shots on over. GODSENT getting a knock on a Dope. It looks like Baba. Oh, he's going to get knocked as well from Dope. They're just trading at this point. GODSENT, they're just entirely getting involved. I don't think that they'd make a move on over, though. We'll have to wait and see. I do think it's going to be OP. They're going ahead and continue to make the push onto Dope and Taco, but it looks like it's kind of getting calmer now as they just keep getting knocked from the team inside the compound.
GODSENT flexing, just saying, hey, we were the top squad in the group stages. We don't deal with first squad, first place, group stages curses. Nuh-uh. We need to get it done. At the same time, they don't have any kills yet, but their position is looking mighty fine, and knowing their skill level and what they can do, I'm expecting big things. TacoLovers going to be able to rotate safely with their 3-man team to this edge of the zone. They're going to be looking up at the sky, hoping that it goes into their direction. Pro Era, so far the team with the most kills. They have 6, but they are doing a nice reset here. And looks like they're going to have to start pushing up against LeveLx. Oh, you can see there, Carnage getting pieced up by Secret with that DP, but here comes the blue zone. Yes,
that is not the best situation whatsoever. Yeah, he's just absolutely sending it at this point. He has to be the one really protecting his team because the rest of them are pretty low. Oh, but LeveLx is pretty broken up. No way!
Pan. What a clutch nade right there. That's going to open up that side of the field. That's 8 points already for Pro Era. Great game for them to start things off. WallStreetBets laying down full snake play as you got BTOWN and HTV surrounding them. WallStreetBets, this is where they rotated to in zone number 3, and it has been locked onto them. So you're really expecting to see a good game from them. But look how close BTOWN is. It's a chat. laying there, and they do not see him at all. You know, he's going to give that intel to his squad. One good nade, be huge.
Right when one of them hears each other shuffling, that's when everything's going to go down. But you have this zone hard shifting again, by the way. All we've had is hard shift. So it looks like BTOWN is trying to hold this northern side. WallStreetBets don't want to get too close. And now that it kind of went down the hill, maybe BTOWN is going to go on ahead and kind of move to a bit better of a location. While WallStreetBets, they're still just playing this as defensively as possible. Honestly, I wouldn't want to go on ahead and look over them, especially after hearing all that fighting happening on the eastern side. You know, there's enemies and one's actually driving right by them. What? I think that was a drive scout.
Yeah, Pro-Era driving on by here, and they are going to get that intel. They realize, oh, this is taken and fishy. They definitely smelled something fishy right there. Casper getting pieced up by that nade. That's going to give them the exact location of WallStreetBets. Seagut on that rotate to get info. Gets popped out the vehicle, so kind of a tough loss for them. Here comes Devotion, though, catching him. There goes Jack, gonna get that quick finish. Every single squad wanting to get a strong first game. It's so important. Here comes BTOWN as well. They have 3 kills. Looking for a good nade here. Can he be able to hit it right behind that rock? He's gonna go for it. It looks good.
Oh!
Got him! Clean nade right there and finish. Beautifully done.
That leaves just 2 left, and it looks like, I mean, BTOWN, they might just want to go on ahead and continue to be aggressive, and a fight even happening just down to their southern side as a whole lot of the fight is happening right beside them. HTV and Era, both of them pushing each other. It's who's going to be at the top of this mountain that's going to survive it. So it does look like some reses might be coming through, but honestly, one of these guys have to go on ahead and go out. These teams in the center might be in a bad situation, so they need to go on ahead and clear out these people beside them immediately.
So many squads here just trying to get this position. It's going to be such a huge one. They realize it's like you mentioned, you got to clear it out and you got to secure it. But man, there's 4 squads shooting in every direction. It's going to be easier said than done. Pro-Era rocking some serious kills, 10 so far. Pan with 4 on himself. You can start seeing some shots in the kill feed. Vamp, HQA, Ogilvy, and TacoLovers. Baba gets a huge nade against GODSENT Trey. And there is just action all over the place. There goes Team Vamp in 30. Still 12 teams alive.
How are so many teams fitting inside of
0?
Yeah. Oh
Crazy.
My gosh. OP also eliminated. Done. The next zone's going to hard shift back up to this mountain as well, Jukes. That's insane. These teams can continue playing. Even more teams need to go on ahead and actually join the fray. They need to get out of those fields. Up the mountain they go, because this is where the ending's going to be. And of course, it is already chaotic over here, so any rotation is going to be just insanely difficult. At this point, maybe just have to focus on taking the fights with the teams around them, because getting inside this next zone might be near to impossible. Yeah.
Steve-O getting caught there. That's a tough one. WallStreetBets have been literally on top of this hill since zone number 3. So, you know, they're going to be kicking themselves if they don't end up with a big game here. And that's a good start that they need. Pro-Era, they have just been kind of bullying people through here. And they have really secured this side. Doesn't look like any of these teams on top of the hill even want to challenge them. And it looks like they've all kind of started working together to catch teams on the way in. And that's going to be GODSENT. Oh, Taco! Sheep going to be able to get a good point. And he's gonna have to go for the heal strat. Nope, can't heal from that, as they are going to be eliminated. This hill is just proven to be such a dominant position here, Span.
That's why everybody is fighting for it. Interestingly enough, though, they're not entirely taking the fights with each other. Instead, they're kind of just taking it a little bit slower. Everybody kind of in a bit of a stalemate. There we go. WallStreetBets, BTOWN kind of taking some trades. Even the team down to the southern side starting to get involved. Oh, an absolute chaos. The smoke can't quite entirely see, but King ain't going to be able to get another knock onto BTOWN. That means that there's just 1 left, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Grave. He's just slowly creeping forward. He's super low HP, but he might be able to spot him out. But of course, they're both, again, just taking it slow. Those teams to the south still didn't start pushing, but it's only a matter of time. Even more teams getting eliminated. No way!
From the blue! From downtown. Now King A up on top, sitting pretty, and this is where the big placement points are starting to be added up. Every single team wants that top 3 finish. Not surprised to see some players start playing it a little bit slower so they can kind of outlast some of these other squads. And right now you got GameChangers going hard up against Ogilvy. Really just trying to climb up this deadly hill while all the teams up top are just sitting pretty waiting for them.
Up and there we go. It looks like some of these other teams that didn't have to entirely focus on that are able to take these more calm fights, which is good because that far eastern side is just so insane. Ogilvy need to get rid of GameChangers before turning around.
Here they go. Yeah, GameChangers trying to hold it down here. They still have all 4 up, throwing the smokes out, trying to buy some time just a little bit longer. It looks like they're trying to make that smoke wall to be able to push their way up. They know they have to. Where's the next zone going to go, though? That's going to be crucial, and it's going to hard shift pretty much away from GameChangers. So they've been climbing the hill for quite a while, and it looks like they got a lot of climbing left to do.
There we go, just trading some util back and forth. The thing is that Ogilvy has the advantage against GameChangers for right now. They're the ones kind of holding them out inside the zone. The only thing I'm concerned about is that they're not playing that ridge they have in front of them. So it looks like GameChangers are actually going to be able to take advantage of that, grab it for themselves. That means they'll be able to be in charge of the peaks that they have on the rest of Ogilvy. And that might be Ogilvy's downfall. Medusa slowly healing on up. GameChangers, they're tossing as much util as possible. They're getting ready for some sort of a push, and
they got mollied.
Medusa's on fire.
Able to survive just a little bit longer. Colby looks like he's busting out the shotgun for the close fire. Oh, sorry, the Bison. And there goes Ogilvy. They're going to get taken out. So GameChangers pushing really, really well. Still, they got 5 points on top. Pro Era still in the game with their 3. And things are just starting to wind down a little bit because these squads are pretty well separated. They got a lot of cover. I think they're most likely going to wait for this next zone after this to really start engaging.
Pro and HTV have been next to each other, like exchanging shots this entire time. So it looks like Pro Era now kind of done with their existence, starting to make a push. There's only 2 left, 3 of them, but only 2 are starting to make the move right now. Sana starting to take the shots, but both of Pro Era instantly turning. Let's see who's going to get the first knock, because that is what's going to count. Fishy goes down, so it's still a 2v1 now. It's all down to Quan.
Low. Making it look nice, and here comes GameChangers. They heard those shots. They're trying to catch that third party, but after it was so done, they were just a little bit quicker than they expected. So it looks like they're a little hesitant. They want a little bit more info before they just straight up push. They realize they're in a really good situation. They've got good kills. They've got a top placement, and they don't want to make any risky mistakes. So you can see a little bit of a stalemate. Here they go, using that TPP, trying to get that intel. Are they going to spot Fishy? Fishy's going to see King A, I think. No, not just yet. Here comes the blue zone. King A just buying time. And King A might get a little bit of an advantage here if GameChangers pushes on Pro Era. Doesn't look like they're going to do it just yet, though. I mean, this zone still got quite a little bit of real estate. They're going to hold that ridge.
The zone kind of shifted towards them, so they can continue to play that ridge. Yeah, exactly. The rest of everybody else is going to have to make a move towards them. And honestly, since they're down below, again, they're in control of all the peaks that are happening. Pro Era, I mean, having the top is usually a good advantage in terms of being able to spot each other out, but they're going to have to be the ones that run out in the open. So it's not a good place to be. It does look like they have some sort of a vehicle, playing some gens before they make a move, but they're probably just waiting at this point to see who goes out because they know that there's at least one other team left. They don't exactly know where King A is, but they know it's not just them, and they want that second place.
Yeah, it is that first game especially. You want that strong start. And so far, I mean, these 3 squads are going to do it. Pro Era on top of all of them with 12 kills. Fishy got 1. There goes King A, and it looks like King A is going to just decide to go out to the play zone, not going to give a point away to another team. It'll end up to be a smart play. They're going to end up in 3rd WallStreetBets. But you got Pro Era. Fishy getting caught out by GameChangers. This hill working so well. Pro Era going to have... The only way they get out of this is with their guns. That's it. They're going to have to hit some big shots. Not looking good.
Well, they're trying to make a run down. Yeah, not quite working out. GameChangers really able to use these ridges to themselves. It looks like one of them was able to make it inside the smoke, though. There we go. Even going for a res. This could be huge, but still GameChangers with 4 up. That's going to still just be difficult.
And it looks like both these squads have to be out of utility completely. Pro Era completely shut. Never mind. Here comes the Molotov. GameChangers. Nice trades there at the end. Looked a little bit, closer than I think they wanted, but GameChangers, wow. First chicken dinner here in the PUBG Mobile Club Open Finals, and they did it with all 4 ups, man. And that wasn't easy. They worked for it. They had to climb that hill, and they did it well.
And not to mention that they come from the side of the map that had like none of the hardships. That means that they had to find the spot inside of that zone multiple times, and somehow they were able to do that, yeah, with all 4 players up. And then from there, just getting rid of Ogilvy, making sure that they had a good position to wait for everybody else to come to them. That was a pretty clean play from them. It all started from them having to get inside zone, and their scouting was just perfect enough that it was able to work out. So that was huge for them.
Man, and they had some serious fights downhill, and it works good. I mean, it makes me kind of wonder, would you have wanted to see Pro Era be a little bit more aggressive on top of that hill early on? But can you blame them? I mean, they had so many kills, right? It's like, it's a crazy kind of like little what if. I want to know what you think.
I think that 4 teams being on top of the hill for as long as there was insane. I entirely expected both of those teams, like the 2 separate ones, the 2 fights, one to the north, one to the south, was going to be finished, because there really can only be one team that's going to be able to play at the top of that hill and potentially win that game. So right when those teams were taking a really long time to take each other out, I kind of figured, I'm just like, they're also going to be next to each other towards the end of this game, and that's just going to create even more and more issues. And honestly, I'd rather be the person to the west that doesn't have really close neighbors. That's the place to be, and it just so happens that the team that won the game is the team that came for the West.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see, like, just one squad on top of the hill, just push all 4 to the right, then to the left, clear them all out. But since that didn't happen, it opened up the door for GameChangers to have a phenomenal first game. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rankings here to start things off for the finals. I know that's what everybody wants to look at, the points. And it's going to start off with Pro Era getting the most points in game number 1, even though they ended up in second. Kills, baby, kills.
Second place and kills. That's so many more. 12 kills. The next one is GameChangers with 8 kills, just 1 point off. So Pro Era going on ahead and getting all those kills so early on is obviously going to go on ahead and do them well. Just imagine if they had grabbed that first place position, but since they still did so well, that means they're still in the running with that point differential. Oh, that's insane. But also another thing I'd like to point out is that there are 2 teams that were invited at the very top. The next one right now is in 7th, which is Dope Esports, and the rest of these guys are all of our teams that we saw just qualify from groups.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point right there. Just goes to show you why these invited teams are invited, right? I mean, that's what I like to see. I mean, they're here for a reason, and you see first game off the bat, 12 kills, 8 kills, and the first and second place. I mean, they came to play. WallStreetBets, they had the zone locked pretty much. They did get surrounded, so it was a little tough for them. They did end up in 14th place. I think for game number 1, you can't be mad at that. It's going to be interesting to see, though, game number 2, 3, 4, how they end up deciding to bounce back. So good start for them. Let's take a look at the second page to see how the rest of the squads did. Yeah, you can see right here, Team OP. Yeah. GODSENT too.
Not as many points, yeah. So OP, GODSENT, neither of those teams I think we expected. Same with Vamp actually being down there in 14th place. Unfortunately, some of these teams just going out so early. Barely any points on this other side as well. 4 points being the total from OP in that 9th place position. Just not a good first game for these guys over here on the second page. And honestly, a lot of these guys I think we saw to those extremes either on the far north or the far south. So I guess those rotations just really didn't work out for them, all those hard shifts as well.
Yeah, hate to see it. So it's a tough game 1. I know that Team OP is going to have a ton of support in the chat for them. So if they're going to be able to bounce back, I think that definitely can happen. Next up is the game to do it. That's for sure, because Sanhok is coming. And we know the shenanigans that happened in Sanhok, don't we, Span?
Oh, definitely. Everybody definitely right next to each other, exactly like that fight up there on top of that hill in that last game. So these guys really have to get good at those team fights, at the chain fights, because everywhere they go, there's going to be another team and they're going to have to get involved with each other. So, I love Sanhok. This is really where it comes down to gunplay more than those big rotations. So I'm looking forward to it. We will be able to watch these guys fight it out on Sanhok after a very short break. So we've only just gotten started. So we'll see you guys shortly. Don't go anywhere.
the OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro, oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date. OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro, oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
Welcome back, everybody, for the PUBG Mobile Club Open North America Finals Day 1. I'm Spin Cargo. With me for Game 2 is Mustache Dave, and we're going to find ourselves on Sanhok like we already talked about. Dave, now you watched that first game. What are your feelings about all of this now, just being Day 1 and the game so far?
Great question, by the way. My feelings, the PMCO group stage teams showing up for sure. I mean, WallStreetBets, HTV, Ogilvy, and BTOWN. They were top 6, top 7 that game?
Yeah.
Maybe even top 5. Like they're showing up, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. I didn't want to see these teams pop off in the group stage and then come here and just get swept up, dominated by these teams that have that PMPL experience. So that's a good sign for these teams that are brand new. This is their first time at this level of competitive play. And game 1, they're doing pretty good. So it's off to a good start, Span Cargo.
I don't disagree. I pointed it out, right? When we looked at that match standings, I was just like, oh, take a look at that. Only 3 invited teams. The rest of them came from groups. So it looks like some expectations might be being succeeded or smashed. I'm not quite sure just yet. But of course, that was only one game. And we do know that some of these teams can just have bad games. And those hardships were absolutely insane. So Sanhok, there's not really going to be as many insane shifts because of how small it is. Instead, it's really just going to come down to how well you and or your team can go on ahead and get rid of everybody else inside the circle.
Yeah, and Sanhok definitely benefits those teams who are stronger on the fragging, those taking those fights. And I'm looking at teams from the group stage just because we're kind of still on that topic here. BTOWN, they finished group stages top of the class. I think they had like 80 kills. They surpassed everybody when it comes to kills. So they had 2 players in the top 5 on the top kill individual stat-wise as well. So I'm looking for BTOWN to come in here, dominate, show these PMPL teams what's up, and that they're forced to be reckoned with here.
Yeah, you're right. They did get 80 kills. So the next one was 71. Actually, so 9 entire kills difference. And that's actually Vamp. So I guess we should also keep an eye on them. But of course, the top 2 teams from our first game were in fact invited teams. So one of them getting 12 kills. I'm kind of expecting maybe Pro Era might be one of those teams as well that's going to find a ton of kills in this tournament too. So right now we kind of have an eye on a couple of teams that could potentially go on ahead and just completely win the Sanhok game just from what we know about their gunplay.
Yeah, we'll see, because Pro Era, they got Fishy, Siga, Lolo, Pain, and Lucifer. Like, all these players have experience at this level, have experience in PMCOs as in general. I remember last PMCO, Fishy popping off, making some plays by themselves. So it's very interesting to see them come in here this PMCO and try to qualify once again for PMPL. And not only that, like, Pro Era has a lot of hype, I guess you could say, behind them coming into this PMCO. Like, a lot of talk about them and a lot of fans that expect them to qualify. So we'll see what they can do, because as of right now, 15 more games. That's all that's left. Like, that's not a big number, right? And according to the rule book, 5 to 8 teams are going to be moving on into PMPL. We're thinking 8, but the rule book says 5 to 8. So if I want to be extra safe, I think I got to be top 5. Yeah, if I'm top 5 at the end of the day, like, extra safe, that's the way to go.
That's a little bit of a scary situation, not entirely knowing what the goal is going to be, but you're right. To really make sure you're going to be safe, you obviously want to be in that top 5. And from what we saw just from group stage that happened just 3 days ago, we know how difficult it is to go ahead and grab those top spots and stay there. There was so much movement coming in from that leaderboard because everybody just kept bringing it back. So coming into finals, I'm expecting the same thing, maybe at even a higher of a level. So I'm expecting a lot of bouncing around potentially coming into these few, and these guys giving each other, again, I'm going to say it again, run for their money and seeing what they're really going to be able to pull out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's pretty sure it's 8 teams, top 8, because we are going to have 20 teams in PMPL with the super weekend format once again. So we're pretty sure, but on the safe side, if you want to be safe. And of course, if you're not first, you're last, and that's what a lot of teams are going to be shooting for here. So they could put that in the Twitter bio, PMPL or PMCO, that is finals, first place finisher. And all of that, that's a huge accomplishment if that is the case for teams that this is their first time playing at this level. I can only imagine your first competitive event and you finish first in the lobby against players who have been playing for 2 years in competitive. So there's a lot of goals, I guess you could say, that not only teams but individual players are trying to accomplish here in this event.
That'd be pretty impressive. So again, just another thing, I guess, to keep an eye on as these games go by. See if any individuals are really going to be standing up to us. I do think maybe there were a couple people from group stage who were just like, wow, this guy is insane, doing so well for his team. And we're going to see that coming into this as well. I love seeing really good team play as well. Just clear communications. It's like when you can visibly see it inside of fights. You know what I mean? Those teams are playing it so well. I can clearly see that the communication is flowing 100% smoothly. And at this level, I mean, we aren't in a PMPL just yet, but some of these teams have been there and these teams are getting there. I'm expecting at this point a bit more critical. These guys definitely got it in them.
And I know the YouTube chat, they're going to be cheering for Team OP. They were on the second page last game. So Team OP, where are you at? You got those fans cheering you on. 15 more games to go. You would love to see them qualify here. And I don't know. Did you guys talk about who, if you had to pick one team that you're rooting for here? Did you guys talk about that yet?
No. We didn't. We kind of just talked about the teams we were keeping an eye on. I believe Jukes, he definitely said, TacoLovers are his team. So I would assume that he's going to go on ahead and pick out TacoLovers. For myself, oh man. You see, I feel like GODSENT, they were just so good coming into group stage. So I'd expect them. But, I'm going to say Ogilvy because they were the team that I kept talking about during group stage as well. And they absolutely brought it through those end games. So I'm going to say Ogilvy.
That is true. And I remember once when you started kind of hyping them up towards the middle of group stage, started talking about them a lot, their performance just started going up from there. And it increased. They did really well too. I'm very impressed with that squad. HTV, we know, extremely aggressive. And I'm with Jukes, but I'm a little biased here because TacoLovers, they told me if they make it to PMPL, your boy Dave, all of us, we're all getting that merch. We're getting that TacoLovers shirt. Ooh. And I want a shirt with that little guy, little taco.
That'd be so cute.
Exactly. And they said they're making plushies as well. So I'm like, hey, make it to PMPL because I want to see that taco for sure. But ladies and gentlemen, these players, they want to level up. They want to qualify. You know how they're doing that? They're using the OnePlus 9, the flagship performance, immersive 120 hertz display, that new technology that's built into it, the HyperTouch. The OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro are their best shots at climbing up those leaderboards. 15 more games to go, Span Cargo. I got word that it's almost going to happen.
That pause, it was I felt suspense in that pause, Dave. We're about to jump into Sanhok. Sanhok is so stressful, and the suspense is already building just from that pause. Jeez, I didn't expect that. But yeah, they're getting in the plane, putting on their backpacks, strapping up their boots, they're getting ready, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. Last game, a little bit chaotic on some drops there, especially around the Pachinki area. Sanhok, much smaller. Not as many locations to go to. Still the same amount of teams. I don't know what to expect.
And last game it was what, like 20 minutes in the game. There's still a healthy amount of players still alive, and that's something that we saw back in group stage, that the early on in the tournament, they like to play safe. They like to feel it out, right? Feel out the lobby. They like to get day one done without getting the goose egg, the 0 points. And then they go back, they watch the footage, and they come up with a more solid game plan. Because right now, yeah, they had scrims. They played in scrims possibly. The teams who did get invited here, they had the opportunity to watch teams during group stages. But that's all in theory, not necessarily in practice. Yeah. So here today is, in my opinion, everybody's first time kind of getting to the lobby, trying to get a feel for each other and see exactly, what their opponents are truly going to come out here with tonight.
Yeah, they all have something to prove, and they all hope that the information that they have gotten from, the pros, I feel like that they might have had a bit of an advantage, the invited teams, coming into this, being able to watch all these other teams play these last 6 days of group stage, definitely getting an idea of their drops and rotations, their usual play style. Like, it was definitely an opportunity for them to sit down and really scope out the competition. So I hope that they were able to do that. And I'm curious to see if anything like that is really going to go on ahead and be a factor inside of this game. If somebody really is going to be able to spot something out about a specific team and take advantage of it. So potentially, and same with the flip side, I got to say as well. Some of those teams coming in, I mean, they came in for a reason. They should obviously know those teams that played in the previous PMPL are coming in. They are invited. They should kind of have an idea again of where they like to drop, how they like to play. So anything that they can use against each other, I want to see that happen.
Well, Span Cargo, I'm excited. I can tell you're excited, and all the viewers out there getting pumped up. But ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after this very short break.
The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
Hey y'all, Span Cargo, Mustache Dave here once again after that short break. You got to see that beautiful phone once again. You guys know the deal, you know exactly who that's from, but man, that Sanhok game just taking a bit to go on ahead and start. Seems like maybe some people a little bit unsure what's going on. No, I'm just kidding. These guys, they're getting ready still. We still want to have these games be absolutely perfect. And these teams need to have the correct settings for themselves. So getting into this next game, maybe it's just going to, like I mentioned before, build up that suspense to know exactly what's happening. I'm sure these guys are actually feeling it as well, just waiting for this lobby to start. The things that are running through their minds, especially on day one, is probably pretty difficult, but I feel like the majority of them are probably a little bit more on the confident side, the confident, comfortable side at the very beginning.
Yeah, and that's exactly the mindset that they should be in. Coming into day one, you want to feel confident, you want to feel good. The morale on the team. Personally, you want to keep it up the whole time, even if they walk away at the end of today, they didn't perform like they wanted to. Maybe they're on that bottom page. I think it's very important to as a team, discuss your mistakes, but don't necessarily blame people, right? Like, look for ways that as a squad we can improve, more or less of just looking to pinpoint, oh, hey, player A, you messed up type of deal, fix your game, because that could quickly tilt somebody, right? And like you like to talk about, team game. So I think part of that is being able as a squad to keep the morale high throughout the entirety of the tournament, and just that mental, on point.
Exactly. That's what you have to do. You have to play every single game as if it's your first game and your only game, basically. Got to do well for every single one. You can't let that mentality get to you. I know it's hard, but that's what teams really have to do to be able to succeed. I feel like, what is that saying? Like, I can't think of it. But basically, I feel like mentality is like half the battle some of the times. Mentality, and then all the fighting, the actual gameplay, all the technicalities of actually going ahead and competing. So they have to be both good mentally and confident coming in. They know how to play this game. They know how to use their gun. They know how to rotate.
Yeah.
They know how to scope each other out and take advantage of each other. And they just got to go on ahead and play that games.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot about myself. The other day I was playing in a Pubg Mobile VIP event. Mentally, I was feeling good. I was feeling confident. I was taking some shots here and there. But in game, I was wide peeking, my whole body exposed. I wasn't lean peeking, covering myself. So it I guess I gotta combine the skills kind of with the high mental. But you know what people tell me? They say, Dave, listen, you have heart. All right, Dave, you got heart, and that's what matters. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I believe the players finally getting loaded up here on the Sanhok map to start game number 2, game number 15. Oh, man, the drop spots. That's the big story of today. Where are teams dropping? Will we have any early fights because teams are trying to fight it out for those drop spots? Well, we will find out here in about 30 seconds.
Dave, last time we were at Sanhok, how many teams were inside Painan? I feel like I might be expecting something like that to happen again. It was just so insane. There were so many teams there inside of Painan. So we'll just have to see if that's going to happen again. Not as many areas for these guys to be able to spread out to. So I'm kind of expecting at least 1 or 2 hot drops, but we'll see if there's more.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning on in. You clicked the right stream here tonight, the PMCO NA Fall Split 2021 Finals, baby. 15 more games to go. Top 8 moving on over to PMPL. Let's get into the game.
Ooh, okay. It seems like a trend so far. Last game's far Western Plain. Looks like we might be having that situation once again. Over to the west again. Sanhok, though, much easier than Erangel. Should be able to spread out towards that eastern side from how small it is, but that still means the majority of these guys are going to be very much on top of each other. So, again, have to keep an eye on where these guys are going, see if they will be successful in spreading out or if we'll have some early fighting. Jukes and I were discussing it last game. Early fights just really helps out nobody. The opportunity, the chance of losing some of your teammates, that just sets you up to not do as well for the rest of the game. Like, everything changes right when you lose a couple of players. So everybody's goal is to really not get in those early fights, but obviously that's not always doable.
Ooh, and the goal is also not to die to blue zone here on Sanhok. And with circle number 1, I'm going to call it 30%. Is that fair? 30% water, because you can't count out the channel, the channel out there to the west. That's also water. Yeah, it might be shallow, but with that much water in play, well, that's just going to eliminate the land that these teams have to call home. And we already got a possible skirmish out here. Dope Esports versus Yo. Oh, no. Vaulting on over that wall. Mistakes were made. No gun. And Yo, Purge. Yo, see you later.
Bad spot. Wrong time. Vaulted over that little half wall there. Was just completely taken out. And actually, well, there's the rest of Yo. They actually decided to drop onto the western side of Painan. That one guy super far away. I bet he wasn't expecting 2 different teams on the other side of Painan and at that little compound to the northern side. So maybe he was hoping they would be free so they could start getting this round onto Karen so this team could take advantage of. But unfortunately, that just means this team is just one player less.
Yeah, and the two squads, because of circle number 1, the two teams in Final, like they're not in circle 1. They're not far from it either, but Dope, they have somewhat of a split right now that they might be able to loot those compounds, get some scrap loot, and possibly gatekeep teams in Painan. Because you have to assume they are going to be aware because they saw them in the parachutes. And not only that, because Circle 1 is so far north, like you have to assume there's going to be teams down there to the south looking to rotate in this general area. So this could be a nice game for Dope Esports LLC to possibly get some kill points.
Potentially, Karen, though, they're already running up on top of the hill beside them. So, like, immediately, 3 minutes inside the game, they're already running on top of that hill to try and get away. And they probably figured, we don't want to get trapped here. We don't want to take that fight with Yo. We just want to get inside this zone and see how else we can survive. We can loot elsewhere. But we just have to get out of here. It does look like Unruly might be kind of staying behind, waiting for that last member to catch up, doing some scouting. And, yeah, nobody else is towards them just yet. So they're going to get inside zone. That might leave the other teams to fight it out potentially, or maybe they'll all just kind of ignore each other just to get inside this first one.
We shall see. And talking about teams at circle number 1, pretty solid. WallStreetBets, they're in Paradise all by themselves. This is as center as you can get. And also to the north of Paradise is going to be Team OP. They definitely needed some luck here in this second match because all their fans in the chat cheering them on. So with them so far up to the north, they're going to have a lot of opportunities to get the loot and pick a solid location to set up some type of defense and just hope that these zones continue to favor the north because that will be huge for them placement point-wise. But getting a nice little aerial view. Mezexis, another team kind of similar to Pro Error, that coming into the finals, a lot of people had a lot of talk. A lot of talk about this squad, kind of cheering them up, kind of hype about them with a lot of expectations.
Okay. So, and adding to our list of teams to definitely keep an eye on. I mean, of course, we're keeping an eye on all of these teams, but slowly growing our expectations for others. Like we said, we already have a huge one for OP, especially because so many people are talking about him. And I assume you kind of laugh there because, I mean, GODSENT, Jack, he's just crawling for right now as an entire team's passing by. The rest of GODSENT super far away. So, honestly, you got to do what you got to do. An entire team is rotating by you, just prone.
Couldn't agree more. You gotta do what you gotta do because at the end of the day, you know what this is? It's a battle royale, and if you're not first, you're last. Like the goal here, that chicken dinner, be the last individual person or the last team to survive here, and that's how you win the chicken. That is how you win the chicken. GODSENT last game, they had 2 kills, 1 placement point. So I definitely understand why, especially with their position, down there in the south, why they would opt to kind of play it slow, try not to get involved this early on, try to make sure that when they do get into a fight, their whole team is available to help. So, sometimes people are like, oh, laugh out loud, snake in the grass type of deal. But no, in this situation, on Sanhok especially, I totally understand.
Yeah, I would let them pass me by, and then there's a team in front of you, and you could potentially take advantage of them, but it looks like instead they're going to be running into Dope just beside them to their western side. Got to be careful, because if this fight pops up, I mean, Karen don't quite know how they're going to play this just yet, but if they hear shots, I wonder if they'd run on over to try and third-party this, maybe even LeveLx as well, because that's really the opportunity that Sanhok provides. If a fight starts happening, you're going to hear it, because this map is so small. It is opportunity for you to go ahead and third party it and pick up a ton of kills. So GODSENT, though, doesn't look like they want to give that opportunity a chance. They're just going to disengage back away from where they heard somebody.
Yeah, and I think it's also, we obviously have the aerial view. We can see the map, but I think this is a good call for them inside the game because they are in the southern part of circle number 1. So you have to assume you nailed it on the head, too. Like, once when you take this fight, there's a high chance that there's going to be a team down here towards the south that are in a position to possibly third party them. So pulling into that compound, playing it nice and slow, nice and steady, and that's going to be the case here for a lot of teams, and for good cause, because I'm a true believer. Like day one, it's all about just putting out them feelers and just trying to catch the vibe, you know, feel the vibe of the lobby, and kind of see how everybody tends to play here in day one.
Exactly. I mean, that's the safest path. And honestly, I like that they decided to start going towards the eastern side as well, just considering where the plane path was originally. It was so far over to the western side that if I wanted to go ahead and make any sort of rotation, I feel like I would prioritize going east, because while there might be some teams over there, there definitely was enough time for some other teams to make a move in that direction. There definitely won't be the majority of people. So that's a choice that they could have taken, that they are taking, to just try and get away from the majority of people, which will go ahead and streamline them right into those top placement positions that we talked about for those placement points, and the later fights that'll get them kills as well. So it's win-win-win.
Oh, I love that they brought us up, because I'm watching the minimap as well, and Vamp, they drop all the way down there in docks. They are going for that boat take, wrapping around the east side, and wouldn't be surprised if they dock as north as you can. And although this might be risky, you know, because all it takes is one player to, and I've seen it before, just spray down that boat, and there you go. There's 4 points on the board for them. Although this is risky, I think this is the right play, just because of the fact that they have to assume there's going to be a lot of teams down there in the south looking to rotate on in. And talking about teams still down here to the south, I can't really question them, because they did show up last game with 4 up at the end. But it's going to be GameChangers down here on top of Cave.
And there they go. You know, Vamp probably didn't want to deal with going on ahead and finding enough vehicles, but GameChangers have no other choice. They're down even further to the south. Even if they had a boat, that would definitely take too long driving through that blue zone. So they're just going to go on ahead and take land vehicles. Luckily, the zone will go on ahead and pull down towards the southern side, so not too far of a rotation to go. But Vamp, they're going to keep going, and I touched on it before, and everybody who's able to get as far over to the eastern side as possible are going to be good in that they're going to be away from the majority of the rest of the lobby. So they're still going to be able to come in on that eastern side, and right now only HTV is near them.
So we're going to have some fights here very shortly, especially a high possibility of GameChangers possibly rolling right behind Mezexis. GameChangers, like we were just watching, are going to be in those vehicles. Bishop going to be taking some shots. Same thing with 24K. And these are potentially some kill points on the board.
Ooh.
The spray down right there. Just not able to get that final blow.
No, not at all. And it looks like maybe that'll be a bit of a pause for now. Away they go. They just want to get inside zone. And okay, yeah, they are in fact willing to stop. I said I was like, they're gonna get pretty close to another team, but it looks like they're going to be fine for now. This is an opportunity to boost on up and start scouting on. And I love seeing that. I'm using a scope, looking towards the next compound, because they just got here. They should have no knowledge on what's inside of this zone, so they really do have to take it carefully and definitely start looking in front of them, making sure that nobody is in the compound right in front, because the last thing you want to do is just start running and run straight into an enemy squad.
That was a pretty nice jump too, not gonna lie. Pretty nice jump. So they are going to be here now on the edge. Now, they're not going to be in the next circle, but they're also not far from it. One thing I just noticed on TacoLovers, somebody changed your name, because now we got Taco Wednesday and Taco Tuesday. I don't remember there being 2 taco nights last time around. So
I don't.
Oh, but Vamp though. This for sure. Hello, surprise. Oh,
Wow.
great. Yep. GameChangers losing 2.
The scout, they did so well scouting to the next one, but they didn't expect that to happen whatsoever. They are in fact losing to the other 2. I wonder if they're just going to get on their vehicle and just drive the other direction. Otherwise, Vamp, even 312 up on top of the hill, they could just go and hold the rest of them out. Yeah, there you go. Now running backwards towards that blue zone. Vamp, they want these kills though. Starting to kind of chase them, but here comes the blue zone too.
So 312, at least when we're looking at group stage, was the top fragger. Had 31 to themselves during the entirety of the group stage. So definitely a player to watch out for. But over here, we got Team Karen versus LeveLx. It looks like 2 members from Team Karen squaring off. Well, looks like we're on the tail end of that one. The duo that was across the street from LeveLx. It looks like they're dead.
Yeah, only 2 left. LeveLx. They're going to have to start hunkering down inside of this little building because I don't know if they're able to leave. Like, if they start running out of the building that they have, you can take a look at that mini-map and see that it's kind of like a third for each side. If they start running up to that northwestern side, I'm pretty sure at least one of the members of Karen will spot them out. So instead, they're just going for the defensive position, laying prone, and going for those audio cues for anybody to come closer. If they have their foothold on this building, maybe they'll be able to win it. And luckily for them, they're just inside of this next zone, so they could go on ahead and continue to play defensively. Best case scenario, Karen should just leave, but we'll end up seeing they might just want to take out these last 2, get 2 more points.
Oh, hopefully Yogi doesn't connect these grenades if you're a LeveLx fan. LeveLx, though, they do have Ultron still alive, and Ultron definitely one of the stronger fraggers when we look back at PMCOs, when we look at PMPLs for LeveLx. Like, I've seen Ultron in 1v4 situations and win them. And this looks like this is going to be another one of those situations as Team Karen, 4 members push the compound all that once. Ultron hit 1 grenade onto Yogi, trying to get that sprayed out with that UMP. But the 1v4 just too strong right there, and Team Karen coming out on top.
Yeah, easy going ahead and push that and wipe it. They know that they had 2 of them, so not surprised that they decided to be aggressive onto the next one. I love to see that. I was kind of thinking if they do run away from that, that might be a potential 2 points gone, but they were able to go ahead and push it and win that fight. But moving even further away, first of all, a ton of people still have to make a move into this zone, kind of pulling up towards that northwestern side once again. And of course, all those teams that are just inside, just outside, are going to continue fighting. Looks like Dope, unfortunately, getting caught out. One of them goes down. BTOWN, the team that we're keeping an eye on, doing well so far on that left side of that leaderboard. They really want to get these kills. Don't let them move out of your sight on the side of that hill.
Yeah, Chat was number 2 on top 5 fraggers from PMCO. So definitely another player that I'm going to want to watch out for if I'm out here in the open terrain. So it looks like Dope, they were caught mid-rotation. They left those compounds just a little south of them. And it looks like they're trying to reposition, find a better spot in the center. But, yeah, it looks like that spot that they're headed towards is exactly where BTOWN has been holding it down here. And they should be able to get the pickup. But my concern is these shots, right? Like, it's going to alert at least Team Karen a little bit out there towards the east. So, Dope, they really need to be on the P's and Q's to make sure not to get annihilated out there in the open terrain.
Exactly. Sanhok, gotta expect it. Gotta expect every bullet you shoot, somebody's gonna hear. Oh, TacoLovers, though. Starting to make these big pushes happen. They want to go on ahead and finish this out. They want to get the rest on the sheet, but oh, no way. He stands up and gets another knock. That vector just too strong. Even more bullets just peppering him. Oh, man. This is not looking good for TacoLovers. Jukes is going to be heartbroken.
Talk about laying down the trap. Yeah, Taco Tuesday looking to pick up Taco Wednesday, but we got Shiwong right there. This player has been in competitive for some time, and they set up the perfect trap. Lewis still right behind him. Lewis not opting to give up their position in the compounds, but still going to be taking a nice overwatch position on the TacoLovers on that bridge, trying to cross it right here. Oh. Looks like Taco Tuesday was able to get the pickup, but they are getting shot from, I believe, Loner over there on that off angle from HQA.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I think that's exactly what's happening here. Honestly, they have such a perfect hold on this bridge. I don't know how TacoLovers are going to get out of here unless they start swimming, but we took a look at that zone shift. It decided to hard shift away. They're on the fast side of the zone close, and they only have 25 seconds left to go before it starts moving. So they got to choose a plan and start enacting it, honestly, now, so that they don't take a ton of damage. And oh, there goes one. Looks like Tuesday might follow right after. It looks like some of them are, in fact, starting to take that water play. Jeez, he's just going to continue to hold on the bridge. I wonder if he's kind of going to sacrifice himself as is distracted. Oh, and he needs to start doing it now, though, because Cross might spot out his teammates below.
And we know what happens when you put a taco in some water. It gets soggy, and That's not what you want to eat. Big Cheese out here, still trying to heal up. Big Cheese with all the meds, though. All the meds. Big Cheese, best case scenario, go for those placement points. And we've seen it, especially on Sanhok, how huge that can be. We're about 17 minutes into the game, so Big Cheese might just have enough meds to just out-survive this gatekeep from HQA. Because HQA, realistically, they also need to reposition, right? Next zone goes up. We did see it shift somewhat down there towards the southeast. And still, I mean, we got 15 teams still alive here. It's going to be sweaty.
Wow. Oh, it definitely is. I mean, just look at these two teams right here, actually. Both just proning on out or pushing up against a rock, literally right next to each other, not even doing anything to go on ahead and start that fight at all. I think that's probably happening in a lot of spaces with 15 teams still alive, phase 4. They're just patiently waiting for somebody else to start the fight because they want to survive into that late game. Oh!
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. You're going to want that one back. Vamp right there, running right into that snake, chilling in that little tiny bush. Solo trying to square up with the UMP suppressed. Will be able to get the retaliation. HTV taken out. And Solo being able to get that kill right in time because GODSENT right on the opposite end, just a little north of them. Oh, but Vamp, they're getting pinched from multiple angles right there.
Yeah, another team starting to make that move up. Mezexis Esports. We do know that there's a team right beside them, so maybe they're going to start peeking on over as well. But down to this northern side, OP starting to get held out in that blue zone by two other teams. It's both Era and Ogilvy. All these teams have knocks. It's not looking too good, and this blue zone definitely doesn't feel good. Lolo, he's just having to start making a run to try and find a spot inside this next zone. Meet up with the rest of the team. It looks like he might be able to make it, but OP definitely just down to a couple people left, and Ogilvy's just surviving by the skin of their teeth with just one person left. In the meantime, TacoLovers will go out, and OP, oh, I wonder if the Snaves might catch this Solo. They definitely know he's still around.
Yeah, I'm surprised a lot of players here are not respecting the blue zone here on Sanhok. It hurts. Circle number 5. A lot of teams now with the decision on, do we hunker down? Do we try to get those kill points? Or do we push? Because the next zone does pop. And it's down there to the south. Team OP will be getting gate kept right here. Down to just the Solo. Trying to heal up. Trying to survive. Get those much needed placement points. But the main battle, WallStreetBets finally forced to push on out of Paradise. And Pro Air at the front door.
Yeah, BTOWN being able to hold some people out. Here comes the rest of Pro Era. We can see a couple teams in front of them as well. I believe I saw Dope, WallStreetBets kind of stuck out here inside the blue as well. Everybody just getting trapped, I guess. We were kind of questioning, how's there 15 teams still alive? And it's because everybody was just holding each other out. They didn't want the fights to start. Nobody wanted to be the first shots. And that is creating issues later on. Everybody having a difficult time actually making this next rotation. Team Carrion also being so patient. They've just been waiting this entire time for Mezexis Esports to come, and here we go. The fight is in fact popping up. Karen just down to one person left. It's Unruly, and unfortunately they're just going to fall very quickly. Mezexis Esports still being able to keep all 4 members up, and 4 kills for themselves as well. OP goes eliminated as well. This is just absolute chaos coming later into this game.
Don't want to run into that right there. GODSENT with their duo still alive, lock and loaded, ready to go. Nemesis trying to toss out some grenades, predicting the push. The support from the Mezexis squad mates, the support is going to be put to a halt, not only because of blue zones, but also because of those smartly placed grenades right there. GODSENT going to be rotating right into BT, though. BTOWN up there towards the north, and the story right now, all these teams forced circle after circle to continue pushing on in because nobody's being favored except for Dope in the last 2 zones.
Yeah, Dope, they kind of have that protection spot. They have that little shack just in between these big two rock formations. Might be hard if everybody pushes up against them. Everybody could attack at the same time, but right now they're in a safe pocket. Instead, it's BTOWN focusing on taking out GODSENT. You can see it's only down to Trey left. You can hear everybody moving, but he has to be careful not to get spotted out inside of that plant, but it looks like not just yet. A little bit more occupied by taking out the teammates, and the trade will come through because of it. There we go. Big push. Great. No way. Oh. For a second there, I was wondering if he was going to be able to take out all of BTOWN. Yeah. No, BTOWN still
Top
up.
10 Bush, though.
Honestly, this is where Dope should be pushing.
This is exactly when Dope should be pushing, so that they don't get stuck in that little ravine into a death tunnel. Because I can only imagine two squads pushing from opposite ends. It's just going to get them in such a predicament. So looks like they waited just a little too long, so BTOWN is able to get the full pickup, the full reset, but they are 100% aware of BTOWN's position because BTOWN will be taking shots on the Yo down there in the south.
Well, now we're down to our last 4 teams, and that blue zone is in fact moving, but here we go. Dope up on top of the roof, getting 2 downs instantly. That's just 1 left. Looks like they also were waiting a little bit too long. They're able to get the reses, but the third is just going to stay out inside of blue zone. Let's see if he might be going for some sort of a heal situation, while the rest of Dopes are making a push towards Yo. Yo, super spread out, though. They have the entire control of the southern side, but, gotta take some blue damage because of it.
Oh, yeah, it looked like Dope kind of split up into a 2-2 split. They sent 2 to take care of Yo, and they kept 2 at the back lines to take care of BTOWN, and that might have been the demise because you got Spring out there, or the Snake, one of the best snakes in the game, just eagle-eyeing that position that Dope are moving from. And not only that, Drake is still alive. Drake might be able to heal up just in time and backstab. Yeah, there goes Drake getting a kill point right before getting taken out.
It's honestly huge, and oh no, Dope, they're just also stuck. No way, just a 1 nade finishes it off. They stayed in that little safe spot for a bit too long there. I think they could not find themselves a good spot inside of that circle, and unfortunately because of that, they're just stuck beside that rock. Dope, oh man, the rest of them perfectly able to spread out on the southern side of that zone there.
Yeah, I definitely understand, Dope, it's a solid spot, right? You got 2 giant cliffs on both sides and a compound right in the middle. It's like, okay, nobody's coming this way. But our fear was that you had BTOWN up there to the north, and then you had Mezexis down there to the east. Like, what if those 2 squads pushed in that ravine at the same time? Like, how does Dope, deal with that situation with all those enemies trying to collapse in on them? And I feel like we kind of saw a little bit of that towards the end there. They kept 2 in the back to deal with BTOWN, and they sent 2 to reposition into Yo. But Yo down there towards the south, they were already set up for that defense. They were already in the grass, snaking it on out with that TPP, just trying to get as much intel as possible. And we saw, the 2 members from Dope immediately like that get taken out on the initial push. But regardless, GG's. Dope second place, had a couple kills. BTOWN third place, couple kills. But Yo, winner chicken dinner.
And again, that was the team that we wanted to keep an eye on. So let's see just how many points they were, in fact, able to pick up. Let's take a look at those match rankings. And I'm curious to see if we're going to see a little bit of a flip, see if some teams ended up doing better than our first game. And it looks like actually that might be the case. Vamp, GODSENT both being on this first page for our second game. But yeah, Yo at the top with 19 total points. And these other teams getting 1 more kill, a couple more kills after the other. Dope with 18, BTOWN with 17.
Yeah, the flip is definitely happening. Yeah, we're only 2 games in, so, we can't go too crazy. But I think, day 1, a strong start, well, that's just going to have a lot of effects on your mentality, your momentum coming into day 2. Because this is such a short 4-day final. There's only 4 games a day, right? So if you can come into day 1 super consistent, super strong with a solid point lead on the leaderboard, all you have to do is just maintain that at that point compared to teams who have 2 games in a row, 0 points. Like, they have a lot of catching up, in my opinion. Like, getting 0 points in this tournament format, it's going to hurt you big time. And we're talking about those 0-point teams. Let's check it out real quick, because last game I saw LeveLx. I'm surprised they got clapped, and then we saw TacoLovers as well. Gate kept.
Ooh. Yeah, quite a few teams. I mean, we saw Ogilvy, HTV, TacoLovers. Yeah, so many of these teams over on the left side. That last time on the first page of the leaderboard, GameChangers as well. But for Team OP, it looks like they're finding themselves in this 12th place position once again. I believe they were over here for the first match too. So unfortunately, it does look like for the majority, these teams went on ahead and flip-flopped their positions on these pages. But there still are a couple teams that just could keep it consistent. OP, unfortunately, on the wrong side. And our other team, staying on the left, they were in that 8th place position. Ooh, name just fell out of my head. Pro Era, there we go. Pro Era being able to pick up 4 kills as well on that first page. So they're still pretty consistent. Four kills, 4 points, I mean, for a game though. Not the best.
Yeah.
But they had such a huge game one that they're probably still going to be in the running. They're still okay.
Yeah, it definitely evens it out compared to like you said, Team OP. Like, they definitely need to top 5 finish, in my opinion, this next game to kind of start to build that momentum, that steam in their engines, because, you know, they did qualify from group stage, but the battle is not over. Like, it's just starting here with 14. I'm going to count it down every single game. 14 more games to go. And after the 14 games, you're either going to continue living your dream or, hey, better luck next PMCO. So we shall see. Next game, I believe, is going to be Miramar. Early game, kind of quiet, kind of steady. Gives everybody a nice opportunity to catch their breath before the mayhem towards the mid to late game. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back after this break with some more PUBG Mobile.
The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date. OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
Yo.
I see what you did. I see what you
Right,
did.
you like that? You like that? Let's go.
yeah,
What's up,
yeah.
everybody?
Solid.
Welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open Finals, dude. Hot Jukes, Mustache Dave. That's right. I pointed in the right direction. Yo, Dave. Yo, what's up, big dog? Talk to me.
Yo,
Talk to me.
Jukes, how's it going, Jukes? Yo, how's it going, chat? Okay, I'm gonna talk to you here. TacoLovers, Jukes, TacoLovers, man. They got Taco Tuesday and they got Taco Wednesday this time around. So they got 2 days that we're eating tacos. The thing is, today's Thursday, man. So that might be why last game, the goose egg, they're missing the Thursday on the squad.
Amateur mistake, in my opinion, from the TacoLovers. I expect more out of them. You got the Taco Tuesday, which is, of course, very traditional. Taco Wednesday. But, I mean, to drop the ball like that, or what we like to call, back home, dropping the guac. We don't say that, but I just said it right now anyway. You hate to see it. You hate
missing
to see
the
it,
guac.
man.
Missing the guac, dude. They're missing.
They didn't pay
this
extra. You hate to see it.
Okay, so your TacoLovers here. Span
Yes.
Cargo is Ogilvy. I'm trying my best out here. My squad,
Okay.
I like TacoLovers, but to spice things up, I guess I gotta stick with the tried and true, the Vamps. The Vamps out here. T-Weed, the face of the organization. Vamp squad. PMCO group stage, they had 312, number one on kill leaders. And talk about kill points, talk about points. Let's check out the leaderboards. Actually, that's what people want to see here. So I'm Team Vamp, your Team TacoLovers, Span Cargo is Team Ogilvy. Who's at the top?
Sheesh.
Pro Era. Okay.
Pro Era. Not to mention, Dave, top 2 slots right now. Well, technically top 2 slots because you're seeing a lot of 26s on the board. Invited teams. So, I was talking to Span, shows to show you why these squads were invited. But, dude, to see Yo and, Dope show up, GameChangers, it's crazy to see so many different squads winning. So, the leaderboards. Oh boy, yeah. I can't wait to see how the ending's. If the ending is anything like these first 2 games, bro, could you imagine?
I think it's going to be the same thing for the next 14 games because at the end of the day, all these players, if you were invited here from PMPL, you're kind of in your relegation, right? And if you're here from group stage, you're in your promo. So, I can see the pressure from both ends of the spectrum. I can see the pressure to make sure that you don't get kicked out of PMPL, and I can also see the pressure to make sure that you do get into PMPL. So all these players, all these teams definitely going to be pulling out all the stops. Let's check out that second page as the game is about to get loaded up. So GODSENT, Vamp, Ogilvy, Team OP, though, where are they at? Where are they at tonight?
Where are they? I don't know, man. I don't know. Right now, I see the chat. I see a lot of Team OPs. I see a lot of Baba OPs. But like I said before, dude, right now we're seeing a little bit of that Baba Nada. And we need to see the Baba Yaga, dude, come out. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying, Dave? Got to see that legend come out. But yeah, honestly, that's what I'm looking for. TacoLovers, though, seeing with 4 points, it hurts.
All right, well, talk about what doesn't hurt, and that is using the OnePlus and the 9 Pro, because with that flagship performance, the immersive 120 hertz display, and that new technology built into that hyper touch, you know what I'm talking about, the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro, that's Team OP's best shot of climbing up the leaderboard, along with everybody else out here watching tonight. So players loaded in the plane. About 30 seconds to go, Hot Jukes. Any hot takes right here from Hot Jukes?
Ooh, I mean, third game, we're going into Miramar for the first time, so it's always good to see which squads are going to fight for those really big locations. I'm talking Pecado, Sin City, as well as El Pozo, all these other big areas. Let's get into it. The desert, man, one of my favorite maps.
Let's go. Head into the sunny, sweaty desert, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the map.
Let's get it.
All right.
Let's get it. Bam. The playing path, dude. OnePlus 9 Pro up front and center. It's looking pretty. It's looking pretty south. And I'll tell you what, I hate it.
Oh, man.
Dude, southern play paths suck, bro. I don't care what anyone says,
Why?
dude. I know all these players, because the when you have such a southern play path, Los Leones is a horrible city to finish as a player, because it's just so difficult to cover all your bases. Not to mention, on the south side of this plane of Miramar, the terrain is just insane, dude. It's so difficult to drive through. So many hills, dips, divots. It's difficult to navigate. And all those teams that like to go up to like El Pozo and really get set up at Hacienda, they have to stretch. So I'm thinking all these teams, they're really hoping the zone kind of shifts to that north side so they can have a good north side finish. South, but we've seen a lot of southern Miramar zones here in the PMCO so far.
Well, I'm on the other end of that. I like Los Leones. It's the biggest town in all of PUBG Mobile, and I think if the zones do like finish on top of Los Leones, it's like it's its own game within the game, if that makes sense, right? Because of all the different buildings, the close quarter combat, it has those vibes of like a TDM, I guess you can say. So looks like Los Leones will be in it. Yeah, I've been hitting up them TDMs, trying to practice in the gun game here. But look at this, nothing much happening. I got baited. I got baited harder right there.
Good.
I thought there was a team.
Good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'll say one thing. Well, yeah, you did, because Ogilvy, he saw something. But damn, the homie caught the M4 and the UMP though off the rip. So I mean, you couldn't have asked for two better guns, but you know the situation he's in right now not looking too good. But back to the Los Leones conversation.
Yeah, back to it.
You said a game in between a game. Gameception, right? So
Gameception.
I'll tell you what. Great to watch, right? Love to watch it. Los Leones, so fun to watch how these players handled it. But I'll tell you what, man, these guys ain't trying to play any other game than what they know, dude. They want to go to PMPL so bad. So, love to watch it. But I know as a player, these guys are dreading it. So we'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, obviously, Los Leones not looking likely that we're going to have this kind of finish. So I know that these players are like, oh, thank God. But, I mean, it can always shift. It can always hard shift. We don't know.
Yeah,
Vamp would love it.
We've seen it competitive a couple times. And, I call it like a game within a game because it really tests the team's communication, in my opinion. It tests their utility usage skills. Like, you have to know how to use those smokes, because all the windows that you might think, hey, I could peek this window, do some scouting, maybe get a shot. Most likely somebody's going to be looking at that window. So you got to know how to use them smokes, those grenades. I forget what it was. I think it was last PMPL NA, actually, that we did have a Los Leones. And I just remember one team, probably Beowulf's team, because, Bale, the IGL, that smoke tunnel. They know how to use them smoke tunnels. They made a bunch of smokes, a nice wall, and they cross right through those bad boys. And I just like seeing that different aspect of the game, because it's a different strategy if you're in a city, for sure. I don't think anybody can deny that. But like you said, I don't think it's going to happen this game.
Totally makes sense, man.
You deny that?
Hold
up, you're trying to deny it?
I can't deny it. I'm just kidding.
Deny it.
No, I can't deny it, because at the same time, like, these players, we see a lot of midfield shooters, right? Like, just picking the right position, gatekeeping, just the classic strategies. And you're right. Inside of a city finish, all of that goes out the window. The audio cues are unbelievably toxic. There's footsteps all above you, around you, and you just kind of have to pull out some new strategies. Perfect utility usage, perfect communication to be able to get the dub. So, like I mentioned, Great, that as a spectator, and I think it's also good the fact that it's PMCO to see a squad be successful in that situation, because we know for a fact, Dave, that PMPL, the skill cap is gonna practically double there, dude. There's so many just killer teams, dude, in PMPL. So a lot of these guys think it may be hard now, but come PMPL time, it's a whole nother monster, literally.
Hey, I got a question for you. Talking about monsters.
What's up?
It's the podcast hour right now. I'm looking at the map. Everybody, I mean, Yo and Mezexis, they're in El Pozo, but they're on opposite ends of the town, east and west. Besides everybody, still in that early game looting phase. So welcome to the Hot Dave podcast. Hot mustache. I don't remember what we called it.
Hot Dave, dude.
I'm not trying to call myself hot. We definitely had a name for the podcast. It just slips my mind. Okay, so you're playing right now, PMCO.
Yeah.
You know for a fact that PMPL aim assist off. Are you gonna play right now with it off to kind of practice and get used to that, or do you keep it on to qualify type of deal because you're already used to it? Like, what's the play there?
It's off all day, baby. You got to practice what you preach. All day. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this is the best practice you can possibly get for PMPL, because you're going against some of the squads that are going to be in it. Not to mention, they have something that's on the line. Like, scrims are not a great telling tale of like how good you are, because some players are trying. You should be trying new things in scrims, right? New strategies, different things. Here is where you're putting all that practice to your best effort. So if you're looking to make it into PMPL and aim assist is going to be turned off, then dude, you got to practice it here and now. Because to be honest, if you can't make it with aim assist off here, what makes you think you're going to make it in PMPL? You know what I'm saying?
That's true. And the reason I bring it up, because I'm already starting, because you brought up the topic of the PMPL teams. They're hungry. They're going to be ready. The competition is going to double. That's a fact. And the reason I bring up the aim assist is because I'm already starting to see PMPL players make montages and make clips on Instagram and Twitter of like, hey, look at this. No aim assist. Like, look at what I can do. I think I saw like an hour ago from not Carnage from LeveLx, but Carnage from 19E already, getting warmed up, getting ready. And I think I agree with you 100%. Like, if I'm in this lobby right here, I'm going to have it turned off. Just because if you can't make it with it turned off here, you're definitely not going to make it in PMPL with the pros already practicing. So talk about making it. Well, one of the members from Karen, M249, can they successfully defend these shacks right here from the duo of HQA?
Yeah, we'll circle back to that convo here in a bit as we get this fight looking like it's about to happen. HQA doing this very smart. They didn't just send it into those buildings. They wanted to scout it out prior. And so far, it doesn't look like they're moving quite like they saw somebody yet. But at the same time, with seeing Hewing on that off angle, it looks like they had to have heard something. Okay, yeah, they definitely did, for sure. Yeah, that smoke is the dead giveaway. So they know what's up. But HQA is looking to challenge this early on.
I like that too. Smoke those sight lines that Karen was holding. But the thing is, like, why throw those smokes if you're not going to push, though? I feel like those smokes were the... Go for that drop shot. Open terrain. Okay.
That's going to start things off. And now HQA, what do you do here? Do you challenge this? Shouldn't, because they are getting quite punished. Now they're down 2. Karen's going to come full send. Oh, Luis had a little bit of an angle there, but he's going to have to make a play. Oh, he's in a 1v1 position. Yugi needs to back off. Yugi needs to work with the squad. He can't 1v1 here. They do end up taking Kwang out. Yugi's by himself. And yeah, waited for his squad. That's exactly what we wanted to see. You just go 3v1, 2v1. Easy finish. And I don't know why HQA pressed that action. That was kind of a throw in my opinion.
I feel like if they were going to press it from the side that they smoked those sightlines, though, right? I mean, I thought if there was opportunity to press, at least that to me felt like that was the side to try to send it in. Because why smoke it? What's the point of smoking?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's different ways they could have entered. I'm really talking about the fact that they pushed after they lost 1. You had somebody just kind of get caught. But you have put the circle it's so early. Like, okay, yeah, we lost somebody, we're down 1. Let's just go ahead and shift off and take the L and not make that mistake again in the future. But instead, now you're out with 0 points. Considering how many games there are available, that's definitely not tough. You can see BTOWN putting some shots into that vehicle, making it tough for them to rotate on it. And yeah, he's pissed. He's like, ugh, Team OP. That's the thing about Miramar is you have to have a vehicle to rotate through this. Running, not an option.
I think BTOWN or even matter at the situation because it doesn't look like they lost 2 to the side of Team OP. So looks like one of the squad mates from Team OP going to be doubling back, trying to pick up their squad mate, getting stuck out here. And
yep.
BTOWN, last game, Spain Cargo asked me, what team should we be looking out for? And I said BTOWN because they finished group stage with the most kills, and they had 2 out of the top 5 kill leaders in the lobby. So looks like this game they're going to be down to just a duo out here in the blue, trying to take some shots and trying to get some kill points on the Team OP.
Those were some good shots. I mean, that truck is gone. So at this point, and through the smoke, dude! Catches them both. And guess what, Dave? Hello, aim assist, dude. That's what that was. That's what that was right there, bro. But aim assist, it doesn't necessarily, sometimes it does a little bit more damage than it does good. Because if you're using gyroscope, sometimes if you have 2 players that are somewhat close together, it can kind of mess with it and it throws off your gyro big time. Like, I've been playing with aim assist off for quite a while now, but the times when aim assist comes in huge is when you're trying to catch those snakes or players through the smoke. Sometimes it kind of just directs a little bit in their direction and you're able to find them. And you just saw it right there. I mean, through that smoke, was able to laser them both.
And I got a question like, oh no, TacoLovers, the back-to-back 0-point goose eggs, man. Oh, TacoLovers, they are not feeling it here with 1 more game to go here at the end of today, after this, actually. Oh, TacoLovers, hopefully they can pull the rabbit out the hat somehow. Nemesis popping out right there, M249. Hello, how's it going? Thanks for that, that quick point. BeastX, we appreciate you stopping by. But I had a question about the aim assist in that situation that we saw in the smokes. If there's a player that's knocked and a player that's up, doesn't it also sometimes favor the player that's knocked in the smokes, and that might also happen? Or
that's what I'm talking about. That's where aim assist gets toxic, is when you have when you're trying to aim at one particular enemy and you have another one that is like a distance behind them or kind of close by, and it just you're trying to flick on them and it kind of redirects you a little bit, and then you try to overcorrect and you end up missing. I mean, obviously a lot of these players have been playing for so long, they've gotten used to being able to overcorrect even faster, but at the highest level, dude, tenths of a second matter. Like, if you have to recorrect on a flick, you just got turned on, because these guys, they flick straight on your head and they're not missing any shots. So definitely a whole nother level of the gun skill. And like I mentioned, especially in late game, aim assist is a strong factor. It helps catch those snakes in the grass big time. Oh, here, lay down. Perfectly
this has
played.
to be a point. Yeah, this has to be a point. Loki looking at GODSENT. Almost losing their life, about 50% HP right there. You got Dope Esports above LeveLx. The trio still alive here in church.
Yeah, they're going to hold it down there in the church, and you can just see them trying to get that kill. Unfortunately, not able to get the thirst. Ogilvy going to steal that one away from them. So Team Dope still not rocking a kill just yet. LeveLx in the church. 14 squads. So there's still, I mean, we lost quite a few teams early on here. I mean, 2 squads. I mean, we were pretty used to seeing almost everybody up after like 20 minutes. But to see 2 teams go out this early, especially my squad, TacoLovers, hurts.
Yeah, TacoLovers, not only did they go out early, they went out with no kills. Same thing with HQA. They weren't able to get any kills on the board on that push from Karen. So looking at the zone, Monte Nuevo, we got Mezexis in the actual city. You got Pro Error on the outskirts to the east, looking to eyeball a care package dropping from the sky. But a lot of mountainous terrain right here, and we're catching a nice little overview of it right here. And Ogilvy looks like they're going to be overlooking Yo, and Yo overlooking GODSENT. So it'll be interesting to see how these mountains come into play.
Spring, veteran player, dude. This guy has won so many prize pools. He's even won a huge solo tournament prize pool in the past. Dude is definitely a vet in the NA scene and looking to move his team on further. Great game in the last one. They're looking to continue that momentum as these next 2 games go on by. We'll see how they will do, though, as WallStreetBets looking to get a little bit of engagement with HTV. They had a decent game number 1, and it looks like HTV is getting pieced up from Dope, possible. Well, no, it looks like it is going to be from most likely Vamp. Oh, they're getting pieced up from all over the place because they're surrounded.
Yeah, I believe that is going to be Vamp just kind of showing up on the edge right here. Taking some shots at HTV, but now with the shots alerting WallStreetBets, they might also be looking to get involved here. And to make matters worse, the next zone does go on up, and it does not favor any of these squads. All 3 of these teams, they need to make some moves happen here.
Yeah, the thing is that they're looking at the clock, only 49 seconds left. Vamp realizes it. You can see them heading straight towards that truck. That looks like possibly make a vehicle rotation on the side. That's going to be super risky. I think what they have to do is send 3 and then leave 1 to kind of help some shots go downfield. As, yeah, that 1 member took off from Vamp, got 3-1-2, got taken out immediately. Boom is going to send it now while all these other teams are shooting at each other. And, it's going to have to stop getting shot in the back big time. Boom's going to have to turn around. King A able to get the knock onto him. Sana trying to get a quick res as HTV is looking to buy some more time.
Yeah, that knock from WallStreetBets on a Boom, trying to catch Vamp off guard. That will allow Vamp to continue to survive, group up, and get back into their vehicles, actually. So that was a huge opportunity for Vamp to reposition right there. And I believe Boom was actually thirsted in the process as well. And looks like all 3 squads trying to just get into the zone. As I say that.
Shot the back. Got him. It's 2.
Runs.
1 more.
There's 2.
The double.
But not the 3. Not the 3-1-2. Yeah, he's going to survive a little longer, but it looks like that.
Though.
Yeah, worth.
So.
Is he going to go pick him up?
What?
Nah, pick up their meds, son. Yeah, it's zone 4? Yeah, there they go. Yeah. That's what they're going to do. Secure that kill, pick up those meds, get that heal strat going. With a bike. Nice rotation.
So it looks like WallStreetBets kept King A behind to kind of play that anchor position.
Killer!
Additional kill points, but Killer from Team OP kind of playing that same role that King A was playing for WallStreetBets, holding behind here, trying to get some kill points, trying to make the best out of the situation here that they do find themselves in.
You can see Killer hesitant because I think Killer really wants to loot those boxes and get those first aids, but realizes that if I get caught out, I am done for. All he has is bandages, 9 bandages left, and a little ways to get into the next zone. So Killer is, I see a lot of Team OP fans in the chat rooting for this squad. Definitely a team that I want to see inside of PMPL, but Killer's got his work cut out for him.
Killer looking to level up to the Killer Corn status out here with that corn suit. Maybe that's the good luck charm, as still going to be alive and healing on up. They might actually run into Vamp solo here in a couple of moments out there on the edge. Solo living up to a name, the last one alive here. Looking to just find some type of way into the zone. I don't think it's going to happen. You got WallStreetBets, you got Dope, and Pro Error all kind of just playing the edge, blocking them.
Solo getting pieced up from the side. Wow, from long range with that M249. Lolo shut him out. 13th place, bro. 0 points.
And that's what's so rough. Like, we're almost 20 minutes into the game. Almost 20 minutes of playing this. You get taken out. 0 points if you have no kills. Like, that is brutal, especially with only 13 more games to play after this one.
And that's a testament to the skill cap of the lobby, because we saw 3 squads outside a zone. If it was a I'm gonna call it a noob lobby, like, you know, it's kind of a newer squads. Those teams will stay in the blue and just fight and kill other teams. Like they'll die in the blue zone. They don't care. Skilled teams, they realize, hey, you know what, guys? We can't fight this. Let's all agree to just hold fire, go into zone together, and fight it later on, because they're going for placement and they're going for kills. So that's what I like to see when you see in these high skill cap lobbies, those kind of little nuanced things that really set themselves apart.
So true. I mean, we got 12 teams left to go, and we just saw like a high-level play rotate right there from Dope. They were able to weasel their way into the next zone. They found themselves a nice little compound right next door to Pro Era. You got Yo up there on the mountains, on the high ground, overlooking everybody, but I believe Yo are currently occupied with trying to gatekeep GODSENT down there towards the south. Meanwhile, LeveLx all the way on the edge. They are going to be finding themselves OP killer here any moment. And of course, you can't count out WallStreetBets out there looking for some additional kills down there in the south.
It's a party over here in Monte Nuevo. Unfortunately, Team OP not going to be a part of it. Monte Nuevo, translation, new mountain. And they got a lot of new squads looking to make a name for themselves here. They're going to have to be able to make some plays. So many squads surrounding here. It's definitely the city finish, this area, that big bowl is still in play. A lot of different spots. Pro Era getting a nice position here. Pan got that AWM, bro. Oh, we're going to see some snipes? When's the last time you saw a bolt action sniper? Don't tell me, Dave.
Not a long time. Not a
Too
long time. Honestly.
Too long.
Too long.
Bro.
Too long.
I want it. Drake. Oh,
well,
look at Drake.
They're running out of time to get it, because, you know, as the zone closes on it, and you're probably going to swap that bad boy out. And LeveLx using that little dirt road. Oh, is it enough? Oh, yo.
Spring.
Look at that.
Oh, man.
Spring keeping that road right there. What a play.
Beautifully done. LeveLx just got absolutely wrecked in that position. As soon as they rotated in, Yo was just there hungry and waiting for him. Still all four members up. Look at this mountainside finish. WallStreetBets trying to go and catch somebody with a nade. It's so difficult to throw grenades when you have so many different changes in elevation. But you can still see players going for it. GODSENT and WallStreetBets right next to each other on the opposite side of this mountain. They need to get this fight going rather quickly so they can secure this side completely. And WallStreetBets looking to catch one. And we're starting to see that kill. That kill feed is so far behind. There's so many kills going so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said Monte Nuevo means new mountain. Well, hopefully we get a new winner chicken dinner team out here. But I don't know. You got Yo on the high ground, currently with a 2-2 split, and they are not dying at the moment. So they're going to have the high ground on all these squads up here, as WallStreetBets and GODSENT just fighting for that sliver towards the south. And GameChangers, they won game one. They had 4 up late game. They were able to manage that one. But, yeah, this is that 2-2 split I was mentioning with Yo, just keeping them pinched.
Yeah, Yo have a great lay of the land right now. I want to see them group up a little bit more as they push together. I don't want to see them split up too much in that 2-2 and get caught by a team waiting for them. WallStreetBets, they're in a gatekeeping position. They're going to go ahead and make this fight against GODSENT. Here comes Jag, switching to FPP. Got that AK up in hand. The pre-fire through the smoke catches King A on that opposite angle. GODSENT so good at this crazy CQC combat. Jag barely able to make it by the skin of his teeth. And Devotion's going to be throwing all the nades, all the utility he can just to buy time. That's all he's doing, is trying to keep busy to allow King A to crawl up so they can get this reset, but it's going to be hard because GODSENT's coming.
Ooh, GODSENT. If Devotion gets a grenade, Yo, Purge from behind with the Tommy gun, and this is that high ground position we were talking about from Yo. Looks like Yo are going to be grouping up about time. 10 kills to their name as they're looking down and they're just raining fire on GODSENT.
Yo, dude, I mean, just putting in so much work from this position. And this is what I want to see, is I want to see Yo completely devote all their energy to clear their backs first and then focus on the inside. Nobody from the inside of the zone is going to be coming out. But at the same time, when you have such a high ground, you're just looking to pick up so many kills. And GODSENT just trying to buy some time here. They're not going to move from that position until they absolutely have to. Purge got caught being a little greedy.
Got caught with the hand in the cookie jar. And yeah, GODSENT, they have that position. Nemesis, though, as we said, is going to be spotted. 5 going to be out. Spray, perfect weapon, M249. Oh, Drake on the ball. Drake in the wide open. Drake no longer. Dude, Yo up here on the high ground. Next zone goes up, and I do believe Spray right there, we saw that position, is in the next circle. So Yo have a prime position right here in this new zone. You'd love to see it.
This is one of those dream games for Yo. This is the one that every single team hopes that they get an insane position, tons of ammunition. This is the game where Yo needs to pop off ridiculously. They want to get a 20-kill chicken dinner just in case for those games where they kind of struggle a little bit. So when you get this kind of chance, the best teams take it to their absolute fullest. Tons of kills. They don't just settle for 2 kills and a chicken dinner, and that's what Yo's doing, and they're looking for more.
And they have a vehicle just in case they need to send it down the hill. You know, we might see them use that vehicle forward. But Dope now reposition. So many M249s on the field as well. That's getting me mighty concerned here. Pro Area got Lolo in the smokes trying to keep out Flawless out there. Lolo tossing some grenades as well onto Mezexis. Just push ahead of him. Okay, but Yo needs to watch out. Yo needs to make sure not to lose any members. Up there's Flawless from the second story window, putting a stop to Lolo.
And the thing is that Yo are in such a position that they can just back up and just reset even if they do get knocked. And you can see Spring with the red dot, just getting some more knocks. Oh, if he had a nade, oh, that would be absolute money. He's hungry though. Got to make sure he doesn't slip off those rocks though. Got to be careful. Nice finish. Oh man, Spring just putting so much pressure.
Good sideline. Yeah, Spring is putting pressure, but somehow Dope managing to survive in these smokes, you know, blocking those sidelines from up there above. And they're using these clips very smart, trying to avoid those sidelines as well, actually, and kind of allow Yo to play somewhat of a guardian angel role for them.
There goes Pro Era. It's all Team Yo. I mean, it's literally just a shooting range at this point, and like you mentioned, Dope doing a great job of just hugging that mountain, and honestly, a great use of utility. They were using those smokes so well to kind of buy themselves just a little bit more time, and they're able to keep getting these resets off. And hey, they've reached top 3. That's 10 points in placement. That's a great finish regardless.
And last game as well, I believe they finished in 3rd place. So consistency here in this format of a tournament is key. For sure. So Dope, just using those cliffs, using those smokes like you said. And you have to assume the grenades, Yo might not have any grenades, right? Because you would assume they would be underhanding those bad boys right now.
Sure. For
sure. So what is the play? Oh no. Yo looking to maybe make a play swing in particular.
The angles!
There's Flawless.
The angles!
Okay. Oh, needs to watch out from behind though. The Nexus taking shots now.
He's going to come right back for that same angle, though, because it is so beautifully done. All they got to do is take out really Bishop. And, Galo's going to try to go out to the blue zone. And, dude, 15 kills. Yo, bro. Yo.
That's a chicken. Like, that's a chicken dinner alone in points. And if Yo can get the chicken dinner, that's going to be equivalent to 2 chicken dinners. So we'll see. Are they aware of that solo, though, that 3-1 split from Mezexis, though? They could play spoiler. Here comes Yo, pushing downhill.
I was saying it from the beginning, dude. Yo, a team, Spring, such a legend in the community. Wick putting in some work. The UMP coming out to play. And this is what you got to do. Just anytime you find someone to split, you just 3v1 them, 2v1 them. And that's exactly what they're doing. Yo is out of utility. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, no first aids on any of them. And a nade from Mezexis.
Yeah.
Yo's been spending all their utility while they're on top of that hill, healing back up. Oh, they're done. I think this one more nade. How are they surviving?
Oh, dude.
Bishop, no, the blue zone, ruining the dreams of Mezexis. What?
The blue zone.
The blue zone, dude. They had to push out. I thought Mezexis was going to turn it around, but Yo, dude. Yo, so on point there, getting it done. And Dave, you know what's a really good thing? A good little fun fact about Yo?
Tell me.
Invited, bro. Invited.
True. Same thing with
Best game of the
Mezexis
tournament
and
so
Dope.
far.
Yeah, top three of that game, all invited. And you made a great point. Like late game, the Meds already gone because of all those knocks that they were receiving, and they were playing that one really well because they would peek over that cliff. They might get knocked in the process. They immediately pulled back in that cover, made sure to devote one squad mate to kind of play that support role and get the. But we saw kind of. It's like a double-edged sword. You got the high ground, the positioning, but you use all your utility because everybody's looking at you, right? So late game, they had no meds. They couldn't heal up at all. And one more grenade with the amount of health they had would have done them in. But regardless, they still came out on top, Hot Jukes.
Oh, man, it's such a crazy thing for Mezexis because they did have some nades. I wonder if, that's really nuanced. I don't know. That's like super. I was wondering if they would want to use that nade to get the finish on the 2, to secure the 2 points. But at the same time, that chicken dinner's too juicy, Dave. It's just too juicy to want to pass up. You know what I'm saying?
That's still a great game to watch, though. Just from
beautiful game.
Just as far as just enjoying competitive PUBG Mobile as a whole, and kind of seeing how when squads do take up such an advantage when we're talking position-wise, how they hold it down, right? Because we've seen a lot of games where it's like, okay, this team, they can't lose. Like, look at their spot. Look at their angles. They cannot lose. And they throw it. They throw that advantage out the window. But this game, made sure to hold it down tight. They were keeping them angles. They had that 2-2 split for some time, making sure nobody can push up from behind. We saw that LeveLx push immediately put to a halt. And they just did a great job there. And to me, that shows their knowledge, their awareness, and their communication skills. Like I mentioned, once when one of their squad mates got knocked, immediate pickup, like no hesitation. So that right there is definitely like communication on point.
Crushing it, dude. I mean, they were invited for a reason, as you can see. Read it and weep, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of that, let's take a look at the rankings, and we can see just how well they did. And let me guess, best game of the tournament so far, 32 points, dude. Wow, that is more. I guarantee you, that is more than some squads have in 3 games. That's crazy.
That's a GG, brother.
Ooh, real
sure.
GG.
And, 32 points. Right behind him, Mezexis. Solid, 17 points. Second place, definitely helping them out there. Team Karen sneaking their way on in right there with those 5 kills, able to overtake Dope Esports. But Dope Esports, I kind of mentioned it, consistent here so far. Last game, top 3. This game, top 3. And I think that's real important to look at, because remember, the goal here, top 8, right? So, would we like to see flashy plays, 17 kill point games? Of course, right? Because that's going to help you at the end of the day. But also, if you could play consistent throughout the entirety of the tournament, just make sure you're getting 8 points every game, 10 points every game. That top 8 goal, well, it's going to be a reality, right, Hot Jukes?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Pro Era is doing something similar. They had kind of like a middle of the pack finish on this first page on game number 1, doing the same thing here in game number 3. So, I mean, that's the goal, right? Top 8 is all these players care about. Of course, there is a prize pool here, and you want to get some of that extra cheddar, but there is so much difference in cheddar when you're going from 8th place to 9th, bro, because PMPL, oh man, dude, that's where dreams come true, Dave. That's where we see people make it. You've made it if you made PMPL. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's check out the second page. Not only are our teams playing for that cheddar here, but I think, they're playing for that opportunity, like you said, that opportunity to make it into PMPL, because that opens up more doors, more eyes on you as a player, you as an organization, and also the opportunity to make it to those big tournaments with teams from around the world, not only your particular region. So looking at this page, it hurts, man.
Tough.
HQA,
Tough.
They're veterans in the game. It hurts. TacoLovers looking to make an impact here in this lobby. Ouch. It hurts. And then WallStreetBets and Vamp as well. It hurts to see these scores here on this Miramar map.
Yeah, tough for these squads. HTV, ended up in second, I believe, during the group stages, and they are having a tough start here. I mean, there's only 4 days, 4 games each day. You gotta
Not a
really
lot.
pump out some points, dude, right at the start. I mean, in PMPL, it's different because it's so much longer, but you ain't making it to PMPL, dude, if you don't pop off every game here in the finals. So still got a chance to bounce back, but it's going to be easier said than done, dude, because the squads here in the finals, they ain't playing, dude. They ain't playing. They ain't making mistakes. They ain't making easy ones. That's for sure.
And talk about making it easy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, take this moment, this opportunity, get a glass of water, get some chips, get ready to go, because we're going to send to a quick break and then be right back with some Erangel, some nice classic easy Erangel listening. So we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date. OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The hyper touch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.
One more game. One more game. One more game, dude. What's up, everybody? That's it, dude. It's about to happen, man. Welcome back, of course, to the PUBG Mobile Club Open. Hot Jukes here with Mustache Dave, dude. 3 games in the books, brother, dude. 3, tres, uno más. And, bro, we're starting to see some different teams win this, bro.
Not Big Queso, though. Not TacoLovers. Your squad. One more game.
That was weeks ago, dude.
I'm bringing it up because, this is a team from PMCO group stage. They qualified, and they're out here trying to make dreams come true, man. I'm always going to be cheering for those brand new squads, those new players in the scene, because I really do enjoy the ecosystem that we have here in competitive PUBG Mobile, that literally you could just build a squad, you and your friends, you think you have what it takes, you sign up, you qualify, you make it here to the group stage, you qualify from group stage, you go to finals. Like, you're going against pros at this point, and you're trying to become a pro yourself. So I root for those teams that are kind of brand new, looking to get that synergy going, because I just love those success stories here, Hot Jukes.
Yeah, say it likewise, but you have a challenge, and that's for sure. And that's against the invited teams, because last PMCO, I think I remember we had only 2 teams from the actual group stages that made it, because it was just the invited teams were just so good. But we'll see how these guys are going to do here. Let's look at the leaderboards. That's what everybody wants to see. Bust out the overall so everybody can tell where their favorite team is at. And color me shocked, bro. Yo, have started the gap, brother. You know what I'm saying? If they're shopping, that's where it's at, dude. Look at that.
Who came up with that name? I get the squad. Hey, let's all play together. What should we call the team?
Yo.
It will be funny to hear the casters say yo back and forth to each other the whole time. So 16 points right now. Yo is ahead of Dope Esports. Yeah, that's one chicken dinner. So you're talking about gaps. They're starting to develop that gap here tonight. And, that's best case scenario for any of these squads coming into day one. If you could get a chicken dinner lead ahead of everybody else in the lobby, some top 8 goals, all you got to do is maintain after that.
I can't even express how tough it is to get 2 chicken dinners in a 4-game day. It's honestly insane. It really is, considering the whole lobby the way it is. So Yo is owning, without a doubt. They are sitting very pretty here. Next 3 days, all they really have to do is just play consistent, but the way that they've been doing it, it's looking good. Let's look at the rest of the leaderboard, and I'm going to see a TacoLover team. Oh, dude, not in last. We're not in last, Dave. And that's I got high hopes, dude. 4 points though in 3 games. That's a big oof, dude. That's I don't like it.
The little taco that could Hot Jukes. That's what I'm going with here. The little taco. Look at that. That dude, that taco, nothing but just good vibes. Right, good vibes, not giving up, doesn't care about getting 1 point per game. You can tell the morale right there from that little taco. You got the cheese, you got the meat, you got the lettuce, you got the tomatoes, and of course, you got that smile, looking happier than ever. So, you know what? Until that taco gives up, Hot Jukes, I am not giving up on TacoLovers. That's just a fact, dude. And you know what else I'm not giving up on? I'm not giving up on preaching to everybody that they need to get the OnePlus and the OnePlus 9 Pro, because it's got that flagship performance, the immersive 120 hertz display, that new technology, HyperTouch, Hot Jukes, the OnePlus and OnePlus 9 is everybody's best shot at climbing up them leaderboards, son. So that's what TacoLovers are missing. The OnePlus 9. So hopefully they were able to acquire that on the break and come into this game looking to slay out here and get that winner chicken dinner.
You know what? I think the reason why is because TacoLovers are currently the taco that Dave described, and they need to turn into the taco that I described, dude. There ain't no lettuce, ain't no tomatoes, and ain't no hard shells, bro. I want that Asada, bro. The tres de asada. Can they come back? Last game. Here we go into Erangel. Oh, yeah.
Until I see a frown on that taco, I'm not giving up, Pachix, all right? Until that little taco is looking sad, I'm not giving up.
Oh.
So
my heart breaks that day, dude.
It's not happening. No cracks in that shell, all right? That thing is crispy as ever. So let's see. Last game of day number 1, ladies and gentlemen. What a start to the PMCO NA Fall 2021 Finals it has been. Yo, first place. And back to kind of what you always talk about here is that those throwaway games, those hot jukes punch tickets. Yo, with that chicken dinner lead, like technically they built up a punch ticket that they're allowed to use, like a get out of jail free card type deal. Like they're allowed to get a 0-point game because of that lead that they're able to acquire so far, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I was talking about is in order to win a championship, here's the formula. I'm going to tell you guys right now. This is how it's done. Consistent play whenever you get tough zones. That's really what it is about. Is if you have a hard shift and it looks ridiculously grim, somehow you're able to pull out a 6th place plus finish. That's what all the best teams in the world do that win these tournaments. So if you have a really difficult, just like, oh my gosh, it's across the map, I got 10 teams gatekeeping me, no matter how good you are, the chance of winning that game is slim to none. But if you're still able to get a top 6 finish, that's what it's all about. But when you get that good zone, Dave, and I cannot stress this enough, when you get that beautiful circle, when you're on top of the hill, you got the guns, you need to not just get the chicken dinner because it's a hand me. You need to go off. Crazy kills. So that way, when you do get that one really bad game, it helps offset it. And dude,
for sure.
I mean, 15 plus kills, dude, and the dinner. That's exactly what Yo did. They executed it perfectly.
So we'll see. If you're a Yo fan, you're definitely like super happy right now, cheering on the sidelines, pumping up your favorite players out here. And I'm looking at the map. So TacoLovers, they did drop military base. They're going to be down there to the Lonesome. They have all of the island to loop. Their only real threat right now might be Team Karen if they do opt to set up some type of bridge camp. And Yo, first place. They dropped. They got a vehicle, and they're going to loot all the way up there in Severny. That's been a spot that that Spring has been calling home multiple teams for the longest. So I'm not surprised to see them kind of adapt some of these strategies that some of these players are definitely comfortable and confident playing here.
And that's what they're doing, dude. One thing I love to see from a team, especially a squad that I would have high hopes for in PMPL and moving on, is their adaptability. Because they're going to need to. Because this lobby, high skill cap, right, Dave? But the thing is, like we mentioned this before, PMPL and future tournaments, it's a whole nother level. Like, you have to be able to mix things up and still perform well. Because let's say you're playing in this tournament right now. You're playing in PMCO.
Yeah, right now.
Right?
I'm playing PMCO right now.
You're playing PMCO. You're dropping farm. Yeah. Right? Erangel, farm is our spot, and it's free. You know? Like your LeveLx, you're dropping farm, easy rotations. This is what you know and love. You've been practicing it for months, right? Great. Tell me, Dave, where are you dropping at Bigotrons in the lobby?
Day one, probably on top of Bigatron, just because, we see a lot of teams. Listen, that's not, hey, if I'm the coach, I'm definitely not telling them to do that. But we know for a fact teams are stubborn. Teams are stubborn. They're like, man, that's our spot. We're going to drop. And then it usually takes like 2 games, and then finally that one team is like, okay, we have to respect them because now we're just throwing. Now we're just feeding them points.
No. But I didn't mean to respect them. It's what were we thinking, dude? Yeah. I mean,
that's why you gotta have like multiple drop spots, right? Like I guess that's where you were going. You gotta have at least 2 different spots that you're comfortable playing here. And I think now is the perfect time for some teams to be flexing that here, Hot Jukes. Preparing, like we were kind of talking about last game, early game, preparing for PMPL. Like if you have that mindset right now of like, okay, we're going to PMPL. We know for a fact we're going to PMPL. Let's try to practice here in this lobby. Let's try to do our best, of course, but let's also kind of flex our plays, our playbook, and just prepare for PMPL. I think that's a great mindset.
And that's the great thing about the position you get in when you start off so strong. Like if you're Yo, the great thing about being with so many points is you're allowed to stretch that playbook even further, right? Because you got so many points, you could be like, yo, now we can really practice because we're going to make it regardless. You know what I'm saying? So let's try this new thing out. Let's do something different. That's the advantage you get. If you're behind in the early on, you're just struggling just for dinners. You got pressure on you, and it's just a really tough place to be in. So there are advantages when you get to the top early on, especially, I mean, if you're getting 2 chickens on a day, bro. I mean, it's hard enough to get one. You get the double, the 2-piece. Yeah. That's an insane day so far. I mean, they're going to finish strong.
Oh, you're full. You're full at that point. Hey, I trust you. I didn't mean to ruin your story, by the way. I know the logical answer is drop somewhere else. But we see
I got you.
A ton of tournaments that is not the case. Like, a ton of tournaments, we're like, yeah, they definitely shouldn't drop there. Game after game, they're still dropping there. And we're like, what is going on? Like, I would have been gone by now. I would have been playing somewhere else. Oh man, but I think we've seen we've seen so much of that I think moving forward, and you kind of talk about this often here, is that this PMCO the skill level is a lot higher, right? And I think that is due to the fact that there's just so much competitive PUBG Mobile in the past that teams could use to study and learn from other teams' mistakes. What did they do that was right? What did they do that didn't work out? And that's one of those things that just never work out. Is just having 2 teams drop right on top of each other at a Worlds, at a Worlds format here. So, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future we don't continue to see that those hot drops early game. But you never know. You never know. As Taco Tuesday right here, Taco pulling up in the cop car.
Yeah, they're going to be holding the bridge right here. Yeah. It's nice and clear, so they have a nice and free rotation in the mainland. And you can see, too, Taco Tuesday, just getting some sight lines. They're going to start leapfrogging little by little. Love to see that communication. They're not just full sending it all the way straight in, which would be ridiculous. But, I mean, just getting set up. They need to have a good game. So they can't finish super down in the dust because they are, 4 points out of 3 matches? They've been feeling the pain. So they got to bounce back big here to kind of even things out a little bit.
We'll see. WallStreetBets, dead center right here. Circle number 1, just kind of getting a bigger picture of the zone as it is starting to close on in. We got Dope up there to the north. We got GameChangers, Mezexis, and HTV all in individual vehicles. So each team has 4 cars. They're going to be working their way on into the northeast end of the circle. But center, we got WallStreetBets. We got BTOWN, we got HQA already popping into chopsticks, and then Ogilvy right here to the west of WallStreetBets.
Setting up. Still only zone number 1. It's been really quiet, and that's what we want to see. And that's why we talk about the Hot Dave podcast. We're just kind of bantering back and forth here as these teams get set up, and just the looting stage. The looting stage is, all in full effect. But it looks like HQA are going to be holding it down right here. I love where Yo's spot is. To me, that's the best spot in this circle. Because you can it's so easy to just rotate from far away. Now, they did get hard shifted on. So the hill, right where LeveLx is, that's going to be probably one of the best spots to go for. But you can see Yo, they're most likely going to wrap all the way around and try to come in from the Ferry Pier side. OP dead center, though. And Team OP.
We have Vamp down there. So a lot of interesting kind of potential setups, just looking ahead, looking forward. And this is, like you said, this is a huge zone for Team OP. They are going to need to defend it because it does look like BTOWN might be scouting that general area, might be getting a little close. So Team OP looking for a solid finish here to day number 1. Couple kill points, couple placement points to to end off the day. As nice little aerial view right there. Just getting a better picture of everybody on their rotates here, as Solo from Vamp out here just flexing on Berserk. I mean, talk about the straight flex out here on Primorsk. Yeah, I guess waiting for Berserk to get back catching some water or something.
As you can see, Team OP, the chat's favorite squad here. YouTube chat popping them out. They're going to need some of your energy, though, because they're having to defend against BTOWN, one of the top killers in the group stages. A nice, good grenade to kind of get them to push back just a little bit. Baba needs to be careful when he's holding this off angle. Doesn't want to put himself in a compromising position, because if he gets knocked here, then that's going to really just kill this entire push. So Team OP, considering that they did get that knock, they should be sending this with a ton of aggression.
That knock also kind of, I believe, changed up the game plan for BTOWN, because we saw 2 members from BTOWN in the vehicle trying to wrap around them, but then they got knocked and they quickly recalibrated, changed the plan, because they did recognize that Team OP have a player right here in the shacks, and looks like they're all going to be devoting their resources and their energy to just take out one squad mate at a time, and that's exactly what they did right there.
That was a big mistake, though, from Team OP, I have to be honest, because they had that third player, or that off angle on the side. Hold on. We'll get back to that in a second, though, as BTOWN putting in some work on some teams rotating in. But he was on that off angle. And the second those other 2 members rolled up, he should have told his team, yo, this is a 2-2 split. Y'all are 3 on that hill with a knock. Send it down. Send it down, 3v2 them, and then come help me to finish off the 4v2 down here on the bottom of the hill. But just that little hesitation cost Team OP a member, and now they're just stuck having to hold their spot.
Could have had some points there. Looks like Grave doing some potential scouting. I'm surprised they haven't been taken out right there. They rolled up right to a squad right above them. Woo! Yeah, there they go. There they go. GameChangers right there. So Killer trying to get the high ground on top of that shack, was connected on in the process. They should be able to get the pickup, but this is interesting. I mean, we're just seeing knocks. We're seeing trades kind of back and forth right here in this I guess you'd call 3-way standoff.
This is the time to really play a little bit extra hyper-aggressive, though, before it gets to end game and things get tough. You want to get these kills, especially when you have an advantage, because the good thing about the circle being so early is you have time to detract yourself in case it goes bad. But Team OP are playing it really hesitant, and now look at this next zone. Oh, man, it's gonna be a tough one. Pro Era crawling their way through Ferry Pier.
Nice knock, doing a good job at it. Yeah, Pan gonna be catching out one of the Ogilvy members through the window here, and looking to rotate on in, trying to maybe gatekeep Ogilvy, possibly. We also have Vamp.
They're gonna use that knock, yeah. Yeah, they're gonna use that knock to just separate themselves and get position here, and it's just, yeah, beautifully done. The instant knock, say, all right, they're gonna go worried about having to get that pickup. Let's start sending it in the zone, though. Oh, it looks like TacoLovers did piece him up a little bit, so they do see him coming from inside, but they're going to hold just the itsy-bitsy edge of this circle and just kind of wait it out. Yeah, I don't see them moving from here until they absolutely have to.
Yeah, in worst case scenario, they have the potential, right, to send it on the beach and use those vehicles for cover, maybe blow one up, maybe blow 2 up, kind of build their own cover. They don't need to do it right now. They have this compound right there on the edge, but we actually see them possibly looking to make some more plays and push a little further into the zone. As Fishy in the back, trying to finish what they started out here and get a kill point most likely.
That's all he wants. He just wants that 1 point. And it looks like the rest of Ogilvy have given up on him. So yeah, that's going to be a point secured for Pro Era. Pro Era they had their first game. They crushed it with some crazy kills. Ogilvy, you can see Medusa switching it to that full 6x. He's waiting. They're gonna probably 1-2-3 pan. There they go. He's gonna actually take the shots off by himself, and not gonna get the knock. I'm surprised on that one. Usually in that situation, you see what I mean by 1-2-3 is you get your teammate. You say, dude, this guy's wide on the open. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Brrr, you know. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. Hurts. That hurts.
By the way Pan was kind of looking, I don't even think they were aware of the reposition from the trio of Ogilvy right there. Honestly, they weren't even concerned with those angles. Now they're aware, obviously. So they'll be able to use that information and come up with something. But it looks like Ogilvy able to sacrifice one out there to the Lambs in order to get a position in this next zone. And oh no, you know what's worrying me though? We got Yo. You called it. Yo, we're going to most likely pull up around favorite pier. Well, they did just that, Hot Jukes. So if they start to hear them shots from Ogilvy, maybe even Pro Era, I wouldn't be surprised if they look to get involved.
Yeah, when you get a hard shift like that, you're going to see the veteran squads kind of just creep in through the hard shift side. And the thing about Yo is a team that this next shift, though, they're going to say, you know what, forget that. Let's just go ahead and hold this spot and creep our way in. So it's a great zone shift for Yo, but they are feeling themselves after the last game, and they got a ton of kills, and they have the opportunity to get a whole bunch more because look how many squads are right inside the circle where they're looking on going. Dope, GODSENT, Karen, WallStreetBets. It's really starting to get hectic.
Listen, Hot Jukes, all the teams are still alive, dude. Yogi, the solo from Team Karen, still alive, so all 16 teams are still alive in the final map. Not only are they all alive, a lot of them, you know, they're healthy. They still got 4 up. So it is going to be interesting. Mezexis out here trying to defend their Death Shack as HQA just not catching any breaks here tonight in the open field. Trying to make the push, trying to get the cover that Mezexis currently hold down. Using these smokes for cover. But that open field with the position, how center it is, yeah, you got a couple members from Dope looking over here. You got a couple members from WallStreetBets looking over here. So best of luck here, HQA. It's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, they are just full snake play right now. Pro Era eliminated. First squad. Ogilvy got mad. They were raging at the fact that they lost that member early. And even in a 3v4 situation, somehow just caught Pro Era slipping. So that's going to be their first game where they're going out, you know, in last place. Only 1 point there, but a decent day for them overall. HQA, like you mentioned, look at them. They're just full snake playing it, trying to survive.
This is a good opportunity for Team OP in the hills, in the trees out there to the east to really take advantage and try to third-party this engagement between HQA and Mezexis. Like this is their moment to. And Baba right there in the kill feed with the mini actually taking advantage of that one. Because they have the cover of the hills. There's little bowls there. There's trees. They can just pop out, casually take some shots, try to get these kill points underneath their belt while they can. So I'm rooting for Team OP because I know the chat is here, and looks like they got 1 kill point so far on the board.
Oh, yeah, and you can just see Team OP trying everything they can to get a great game. So many fans, so much support in the chat. Yo, though, trying to put in some work against GODSENT. GODSENT, the #1 team in the group stages, and now you're looking at Yo, the squad looking to be the #1 team in the finals. Starting off great, and they are completely surrounded right now. And they're so concerned with their backs. Ogilvy on the other side, Yo, having to split up a little bit and try to choose who they want to play. You got Dope right on top of them as well.
Yeah, what?
Who's going to be able to get that first knock? Looks like it's GODSENT.
Truly a bowl of spaghetti right here is what I'm looking at. Dope right on top of Yo. They were trying to take some shots, trying to take the fight with GODSENT, but quickly pumping the brakes on that one because Ogilvy right behind them, rolling up in some vehicles as well. If GODSENT can win the fight against Yo, even though Yo are kind of in the middle of it, I think that will be a huge confidence booster for GODSENT. Like you mentioned, the #1 team from the group stage. Next film, it does favor all these squads. Dope, they're going to have to push in, though. So Yo are really going to need to be on their P's and Q's here with the solid defense.
Is that time where you decide you want to play a passive, or do you want to start getting some kills and securing this location so you can have a better chance at getting some insane kills in the end game? And man, Ogilvy tried full sending it. Yo said, "Yo, where are you going, dog? Where y'all headed?" Nowhere.
Not on that road. Yep, not on that road. Nowhere. Nope. They still have a solo alive. Oh, actually, yeah, there might be one bleeding out. So they have a solo alive with 5 kills. But I saw the kill feed a couple moments ago. LeveLx, they were looking to make some plays. I believe, what were they, 15th place or maybe even dead last year.
Nice
Might
nade.
have got some knocks. No kills so far, but they're looking to move together as a 4-man unit. We hear the spray down from Ultron, one of the top players from the squad. Looking back at last season here, M249 in hand, lock and loaded, angles you with the Tommy gun, trying to get the exchange right there, but LeveLx, okay, showing up about time with the squad wiperino. 4 points underneath their belt. This is the LeveLx that everybody expected to see here, and hey, they're showing up this last game.
Bro, Homie got in the US and started dipping before the fight was over. He was like, all right, y'all got this. They're done. And just started heading to the next position. The disrespect is so high. And you can see LeveLx, they realized that that is something they needed to do because they need to secure a next spot into the zone. And to get down this hill is nothing but open area. BTOWN gone.
Yeah, we'll keep tabs on LeveLx and their journey here, moving into the zone, because now this is what we predicted. Dope, they're going to have to push into Yo, Wick, snakes in the grass, scar in hand, trying to get that spray down, not able to connect, and here comes the grenades from Flawless.
Nade.
To open this fight up.
One more is all it takes. Yo is super lit. I mean, they are all down and out. You can see Spring just trying to buy some time with that utility. Oh, he's got one right on him! He's gonna eat that. Flawlessly executing the team of Yo, and you can see but he doesn't see Spray, bro. The trigger discipline. The bush is too thick. Flawless can't see him. Oh! He missed him.
Still alive?
Oh, and finally, Spray eliminated. That was so insane.
Did Spray take shots there? That's what I didn't catch it, or was Spray just simply spotted? I would love to rewatch that one because who knows? You know, hiding in that bush. We've seen those bush plays get some solid placement points. So GODSENT now not concerned with Yo any longer, trying their best to keep WallStreetBets out. Going to Spray out to the smoke. King A prone, trying to get some shots, almost able to. Still behind the buggy. With that smoke dissipating, going to be exposing King A, and WallStreetBets taken out right there.
So close, dude. WallStreetBets just trying their best, but GODSENT just had all the angles. And see, this is why I like to see the stronger teams. This is why GODSENT is such a veteran team. They know the time where they just say, you know what? We have to clear this. Like, let's just fight it out. Let's not just wait since we have zone and just getting some easy kill points. And now they can worry about what's inside of the circle. And it ain't gonna be Taco Wednesday. I'll tell you that. He is done and dusted after that nade.
And you can tell off that last team fight with LeveLx, like, they're just playing with a lot more confidence. They got the knock, and they are immediately sending it. They already set up that smoke wall to kind of set up for the push across the road, and they just took full advantage of that. Whoa.
The toes!
Oh, Tuesday!
The toes!
Getting blocked! Getting blocked! No! Cheese! The big cheese! The queso!
He's in. He's made it. Into their Team OP getting eliminated. Dope. They're going to run up and just throw a nade into that shack any second now. Cheese has to realize that he has to get out of that shack. It's only a matter of time. We have to make a play.
Yep,
the LeveLx, dude. Here it goes. For 3. Ooh, not close enough. That car went across the entire way with that grenade. Is that one? No?
Look, but that's quick though. Look at this. The smoke is blocking the sightlines.
And that's the one, dude. Third time's the charm, Dave.
Third time is the charm, and more points to the side of Dope Esports with 11. And here comes the push from LeveLx.
LeveLx, dude, looking like like they just woke up or something, dude. Like a whole brand new squad. These guys are pedal to the metal, executing it perfectly. The run over from Beast onto Yuki. Oh no, Yuki. Yeah, hate to see it, dude. Team Karen out of there. LeveLx now they're just getting flashy, Dave. Now they're just having fun. Dope with 11 kills, dude. Bro, yeah. Dave. Invited, bro. Invited, yep. Dave.
Invited. And they've been playing consistent all night long, so if they can walk away with a chicken dinner, I wouldn't be surprised if that gives Yo a run for their money. first place here tonight. But like you called it, LeveLx finally waking up. The beast awakening here in the final match. DP in hand, 3 kills. We do see a knock over there. Oh, but Nemesis taking out Carnage. Double E.
GODSENT, not done yet. Nice little tight peeks, trying to be able to catch a pixel, and he does. Able to get the thirst onto Carnage. Dope is still in this. These are 3 powerhouse teams, all have angles on each other, and it looks like GODSENT, with only 1 member left of Nemesis, stealing that kill. He's going to say, hey, y'all fight it out. I'll try to catch y'all up a little bit later. But, oh, gets a little too cocky. Should have played a little slower, but still, great game for GODSENT. Now it's all Dope LLC. Dope Esports LLC, Dave, versus LeveLx. The liability, Dave.
Don't be peeking
limited.
That.
Woo-wee.
I saw that head right there above the rock. Bam, bam. Done, son. Done, son. See you later. Hey, but regardless, though, LeveLx, I believe they were, I think, dead last coming into that game, like 16th place, because I remember mentioning TacoLovers were in 15th. So from dead last to a 2nd place, plus some kills, going up, baby. Going up, and that's exactly what LeveLx needed here in that game, particularly to set them up in a good position moving into the next 3 days. But Dope Esports finally getting that winner chicken dinner.
Intentional feeding, dude? I don't know. Like, maybe LeveLx heard the top of the show. Yeah, maybe. I mean, or not, I'm saying intentional, tactical, right? Because
tactical, that's the word.
We were talking at the top of the show, me and Span, and we said, would you want to end in first place here in this tournament? Of course, right? $4,000, good money. At the same time, you put a lot of eyes on yourself. Maybe they want to end in that like 4th or 5th, so that they say, oh, let's not worry about LeveLx. And then come PMPL, LeveLx does what LeveLx does, dude. I don't know, Dave. I'm starting to see some. I don't know.
Totally intentional, dude. Totally tactical, right there. The TT for sure. I'm not winking, Jukes. I'm not winking. Dope Esports. Hey, you got something in your eye, dude?
Something, dude. It hurts.
Something, but good for them. Good for them. All jokes aside, because this is a team from PMPL, one of the invited teams back here, trying not to get relegated. So it would look bad if you come into day one with 0 points, of course, especially if you're coming from PMPL and you get mopped up by some group stage teams. So Dope Esports coming on top that game. I don't think they're too concerned. I know they had a couple kills that game. I don't know what place they got taken out in, but I'm real curious on the overall leaderboards. Like, who's going to take number 1 here tonight? Is it going to be Yo? Is it going to be Dope? Let's find out.
It's Dope. Yo, look at that score, Dave. Nice.
About 11 points ahead of Yo as well. So that one chicken dinner was huge for them, because look at it. I mean, 39 placement points here tonight, and that's that consistency that we've been looking at. And not only that last game boosting their kill points, to finish off night 1 with the sweet spot right there. Then Yo, 58 points. So both these two teams invited, Jukes, like you like to put it.
Invited, bro. Invited. Oh, man, dude. You know what? That's what they need to change their Twitter bio to. You know what I'm saying? Dope Esports LLC. Invited, dude, because that is what it is, dude. I mean, they've got double the points of the 6th place squad, dude, in game 1. I mean, what a day. They're feeling themselves. They're feeling dope.
LLC. Don't count out the LLC.
The limited liability company, bro.
Yeah. GODSENT, though, a squad from the PMCO group stage, BTOWN as well, should walk away at the end of day 1 feeling proud, feeling proud that they are up here top 4 ahead of squads who are invited, Pro Era, ahead of Mezexis, ahead of GameChangers. Like, those are the only 2 teams from the group stage that are on page number 1, actually, now that I look at it. So, yeah, crazy. The battle definitely not over yet. We still have 3 more days to go, but if you can end day 1 off on this page, you should have a smile on your face. And let's check out that second page, Chachus.
Straight business, dude. Absolutely. Second page, Team OP. Seeing a lot of Baba OPs, a lot of Team OPs in the chat. Have a huge fan base. This is a team I honestly, anytime I see a squad that has that much love and support, and I ain't gonna lie, the chat has been really nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when Team OP struggles, I see nothing but still hearts. You guys got this. And I love that, dude. So honestly, I would really like to see this squad move on into the PMPL finals. They gotta put in some work though in these next 3 days. 23 points. It's not bad, but it's not great either. Another bad day, then you're in serious trouble. Like, you got to bounce back tomorrow.
12 more games to go, and I honestly, it's not over yet. You know, Team OP, we saw last game. LeveLx, they were in 16th position. LeveLx had a solid game. Like, they didn't even get the chicken dinner. They just had a solid game all around, and they went from 16th to 11th. So if Team OP could attempt to get a couple of those in the next 12 games, yeah, top 8. They're in 9th place, Hot Jukes. Remember, top 8 is the goal here. 12 more games to go. I'm with you. I'm with the chat. Team OP, we are definitely looking at you to qualify. So best of luck. Hopefully they get favored in some zones, because I know that's what a lot of people like to cross their fingers for. But I'm looking around. WallStreetBets, that team, if you can recall, I remember they qualified by 1 game, Hot Jukes. Are they setting up to have that same storyline here? Like, is that the vibe? I don't know.
They're putting themselves in that spot, and I'll tell you what, it's not a spot they want to be in, dude. You know, like, it sucks having to clap in the last game. They did it, so that shows that they got that clutch badge, right? So it's not something that's impossible for them. If I've never seen it before, I'd be like it's unlikely, but we've seen them do it, so it's definitely possible. I mean, it is the first day after all, but when you get such a great first day, it just opens up so many doors for you for the rest of the tournament. I mean, if you're in that second page, lower first, you have to put in some serious work tomorrow, really, to kind of feel comfortable. So, hey, I mean, it's not 0 points. It's not 5 points, but it ain't 69, Dave. And 69 is nice. Nice.
It is nice, but one thing that's nice about that second page, you know, is that how close the number is. It's 23 points for 9th place, and then 22, 22, 22. So it is real close. So like I said about LeveLx last game, like, one good game is probably all it takes as of right now to get onto that first page, and that first page is what truly matters here. So it's only getting started, but like you said, I agree with you 1,000%. Like, if you can end up there with 69, 58 points, like, the next 3 days, it's not going to be as hard. It's not going to be as challenging. You're not going to be clawing your way up these leaderboards. You're not going to be sweating every single game, because you have points now to work with to make sure you reach that goal of top 8.
And you don't have to deal with the last day shenanigans. That's the worst. True. When you got teams who know they can't make it, they start playing absolutely silly. We saw it happen in the group stages, right? Squads that thought they were going to be being able to get some points towards the end, all of a sudden, all the kills are gone because everyone just starts doing some crazy stuff. So, hey, day number 1 in the books, bro. In the books. I loved it. I hope you guys did as well. Thank you for everybody coming in and supporting. We will catch you guys tomorrow. Make sure you put in your calendars. We're out for now. See you later.
The OnePlus 9 Pro.
The OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh my god, this phone feels incredible. The best processor, 120 hertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Hasselblad camera. What more could you want?
The HyperTouch on this bad boy is phenomenal.
The best model of OnePlus phone I have used to date.